right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Good Old Podcast. I am your host, Will here, and I am here with my co-host, Water, as always. And today we are going to be talking about, obviously, one of our community's favorite game, Left 4 Dead 2. We're going to be talking about, well, let's let Water list the list. Go ahead, Water.
So we'll be talking about Left 4 Dead today, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of things, like the characters, campaigns, cut concepts, and our favorite things about it.
Yep. And without further ado, let's begin. Let's start off with Left 4 Dead 1 campaigns. Alright, let's start off with you, Water.
Whew, campaigns. Let's start with Dead Center.
Dead Center. Okay. Oh, Dead Center is a classic, to be honest, to me, because I grew up playing this game, and I remember legitimately on Dead Center. I remember how complicated it was because I remember when I was little. I believe I was like probably if I remember like 8 or 9 years old or something. I was
That
pretty
young,
young.
huh?
Yeah, I remember how hard that campaign is, basically, because apparently the gas tanks were really scavenged all over the place. I gotta tell you that.
Well, personally, I think it is one of the greatest campaigns, just for a new player and an experienced player itself. It's very, very nice. It seems simple on paper, but if you get into versus, it's also much more complicated. You can, as in versus, you can actually instant kill people with chargers, drive people with smokers. There's a lot of tech to it. There are shortcuts too that you can find to skip the map.
Yeah.
So it's just, and then the ending or the last chapter, the rescue map, where you fill in the cars with the gas cans. They're pretty. It's pretty fun.
It is pretty fun, yeah, to tell you that, everybody. But I remember vividly, like I always like questioned this basically, and this is kind of an interesting thing, is why are the gas cans scattered all over the place? I know it's a scavenger hunt, but like what I mean is like and why does it feel one at a time? Like for example, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. My guess is probably like the gas cans probably have very little gas inside them. That's my guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
So speaking outside of a game setting, realistically speaking, why are there gas cans there, and who scattered them? What is the logic behind that?
yeah, like did the previous survivors know that that our survivors are arriving, or did they just basically left, or did they just suddenly left them there because they got overrun by zombies? Because think about it, there's different rooms where zombies come from, basically. And yeah, and I remember when and also there's a really rare chance, and you gotta play Left 4 Dead on a specific day. Obviously, there's a rare chance that you'll find Jimmy Gibbs Jr. the zombie this time. It's not instead of his human form, basically. And it is incredibly rare. I remember like when I played the game a while ago, and when I came across him, I thought he was just a regular zombie, but no, he's a special one. Not Left 4 Dead, pun intended here, but apparently he's the special one because the reason why he's a special one is because he has a certain amount of health, basically, depending on difficulty. I believe on normal difficulty he has like 50 health or something, but I think on higher difficulty I think he has more health. I think he has like a whopping 1,000 health, so he's pretty much a tank kind of, but except miniature, of course.
Really?
Yeah, and also when he hits you, he leaves like oil stains on your face or your character's vision, should I say, if that makes sense to you.
Interesting.
And also not, and if you also try to kill him, Ellis will be really upset. He will like start screaming at you for just killing his favorite race car driver, basically. I mean, I don't blame
Wow.
Ellis. I guess he's just a big fan of Jimmy Gibbs Jr. and stuff.
Yeah, pretty simple campaign, much to learn from, even for experienced players. So we're gonna be moving on to the passing.
The passing. This
Passing.
one is the heartbreaking one.
It's heartbreaking. It's a very interesting map, though.
It is because
You also get to navigate a lot through sewers in a big city. So
Yeah.
Pretty nice.
So yeah,
Oh.
basically the reason why I consider the passing the most heartbreaking campaign is because apparently guess what? Apparently, if you basically
Mm.
there's a good chance you will hear Francis say that he will say we lost a good man, and if you're wondering who was that good man, it is none other than our favorite character, Bill, basically.
Because
Because
this happened after the sacrifice, so
yeah, which we'll get to
the
in a
Left 4
bit.
Dead 2 survivors pulled up.
Yeah, they
So.
pulled up with Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s car, obviously. And
Hmm.
and funny enough is that guess what? When you play as Ellis, and if you see, apparently when Ellis sees Zoe on the bridge, he straight up has a crush on her. Basically,
Hmm.
like he keeps on like saying he just loves saying the name Zoe. Basically, and
Mm.
I don't blame him honestly. I sometimes you find like a girl's name attractive. Sometimes, basically, like Rochelle.
Yeah, personally, I wish I could see more Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2 interactions with the characters, but we only get that campaign, so
Yeah,
it's not bad.
which really kind of sucks, but I guess that's how Valve is nowadays. That's my guess. I don't know, but
So in that campaign, as usual, you get the gas cans, fill up the generator to lower the bridge, and drive your car out.
yeah, and obviously there's you'll also find Bill's dead body, of course, which I
Hmm.
honestly think the developers are kind of lazy because you know why? The reason why I say this is because look at the way
Mm.
they position his body. The way he's positioned his body and also the way they didn't like make him look beat up is because I'm
Hmm.
guessing because they were running out of time or something if you think about it. But honest, and I remember I came across the video that shows Bill's body, like someone like a YouTuber like taking like a glance at it. Basically, I remember
Hmm.
specifically. Guess what? I wrote down in the comments saying like I pointed out like basically what is it called? I pointed out that
Yeah.
taking Bill's M16 is disrespectful, basically, because
Hmm.
obviously you're taking a soldier's gun, obviously. And in my own,
Yeah.
this is my own words, so please take this with a grain of salt, please. The reason why I find it
Hmm.
disrespectful if you take Bill's M16 is because you're literally disrespecting a veteran, basically. I mean, think about it, because if you didn't know, Bill served in war, which we'll get to the character's hit info pretty soon.
Hmm.
And honestly, guess what? That's why I always got to tell my friends, hey, stop taking Bill's M16. It's not fun or something like that. And sometimes they wouldn't listen. Sometimes it's kind of annoying if you ask me, because
Really.
think about it, like all because think about it. He did all of that. He did all of that just for his friends, basically. Basically, he's just trying to say he loves them without him actually saying he loves them, basically. And
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie, guess what? Whenever I see Bill edits on YouTube, it does bring tears to my eyes a little bit. I gotta admit, because, geez, if you watch the Sacrifice trailer, guess what? You can actually see a foreshadow that Bill's about to die, basically, at the very end of the trailer. Basically, he lights a Molotov with his cigarette, basically, and he runs towards the tanks and just basically just tells them that he's ready to give them one last fight, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of the sacrifice, let's talk about that next. What's your what is your favorite thing about the sacrifice, Water?
The sacrifice is gotta be the end game gameplay. The final
Stand.
level, the last stand. It was pretty fun, you know, and it's something different than what you usually expect. You know, put the gas cans and leave. But now you gotta sacrifice yourself. You know, which is also
Yeah,
something you wouldn't expect when you're first time playing. So you know,
yeah,
it's a really nice surprise.
yeah. Because especially like if you play as Bill, apparently you get two achievements. Basically,
Hmm.
I think you get basically Kill Bill, which is a reference to Kill Bill the movie, I guess. And
Hmm.
also you get another achievement called Supreme Sacrifice, basically. And I
Hmm.
don't know what that means. I guess that means Bill really did sacrifice his life. I guess I don't know. That's my guess.
All right. So
And
moving on from that, we're gonna talk about the Dark Carnival.
Dark Carnival.
No.
Okay, so basically, Dark Carnival takes place after the passing, obviously.
Hmm.
And apparently, guess what? Carnival is interesting because you
It's
basically,
it's very interesting. I actually have a good amount to say about the Dark Carnival.
yeah. The reason why I say Dark Carnival is interesting, is because apparently you're literally basically going to like an abandoned amusement park or something that has been closed down for like after the green flu broke out, basically. And
Hmm.
but apparently, guess what? Apparently, you can't drive Jimmy Gibbs Jr.'s over the cars, of course, because there's traffic in the way, obviously.
Hmm.
And what else about it? And not to mention, guess what? After you process through, guess what? You go through basically all like the rides, the
Yeah.
amusement park stuff, right? Like for example, like the I don't know, the carousel, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And the tunnel of love. That, by the way, that one was kind of a pain in the butt. I gotta admit, especially when a tank spawns.
Yeah. So
And
speaking from gameplay wise, I do think it is a pretty good campaign, pretty fun. Speaking from versus wide, from a versus side point of view, it's pretty fun too. Amazing gameplay and setup for the zombie team too. Has some unique instant kills on the in certain spots too. Good tank placement. Um, Overall, it is not a bad campaign. Now, before moving on to the final stand, the third level where you open the gate was one of the toughest parts for me because the zombies would never stop spawning. So playing solo was very tough. When you open the gate and you have to run to the safe room, that was terrible.
yeah, that really was terrible. I gotta tell you that. Like, especially like let me tell you right now, Dark Carnival, in my honest opinion, is kind of a pain in the butt sometimes when it comes to
Hmm.
basically what is it called? When it comes to basically doing the tasks and stuff. Basically, but I think the toughest thing about Dark Carnival is probably the concert part. Basically,
Concert. Concert is actually my favorite part, and I think it's the easiest, but it's different for everyone.
yeah. The reason why I say it's hard because especially if you're playing on the highest difficulty, expert, just to specify for the viewers who were wondering.
Yeah.
I remember specifically, what is it called? I legitimately remember like whenever we start the concert, guess what? Almost a lot of zombies start spawning out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden the
Hmm.
tank arrives, and it was a pain in the butt, of course, basically.
I'm pretty sure you only need 2 tanks on normal mode, maybe 3 on advanced, which isn't that bad because you get fireworks, molotovs, infinite ammo, and I think gas cans to shoot up to, so it's
Yeah,
not bad.
yeah, it's not
So
that
in this
bad.
campaign, it's much different than just escaping like on a car, because this time you get picked up by a helicopter, which is
Yeah,
pretty interesting.
yeah. And here's a weird thing though, is that every time like when we get picked up by the helicopter, the pilot always ends up turning into a zombie pretty quick, basically.
Which is very interesting now.
Yeah, which we'll get to like the theories of.
Why does it always turn into a zombie?
Yeah, like a lot of people speculate that the pilot basically picked up a zombie survivor on accident and got bit, possibly. That's possibly one of my theories.
Oh, what I theorize is that so you know how the survivors are immune, right? So they probably have the virus because they're immune, but other people aren't, so they infected him.
Yeah, presumably.
So it's technically their fault. That's just a theory, though.
Yeah. And moving on to the next campaign, this one is gonna be kind of creepy. A little
What was the? Oh, it was swamp fever, right?
swamp.
Swamp fever.
Besides Swamp Fever, Blood Harvest. That one's kind of creepy.
That's one's a bit further up. You still want to talk about swamp fever?
Let's talk about that, and we'll get to Blood Harvest. So Swamp
All right.
Fever is
So
interesting because apparently when you spawn, because apparently your characters spawn in a train, which implies they probably took a train to survive, to basically go somewhere safe. But I think it turns out the train conductor turned into a zombie or something. That's my guess.
but when you start off in the train, it talks about the survivors shooting. It talks about Nick shooting the pilot because he was infected.
Yeah, that's
So
true. Never mind.
I don't know how they ended up in the train. So that's a very interesting point you pointed out.
Yeah, like how did they went from being like in like a helicopter or something, all the way to a
Hmm.
train? Like, did they just crawl their way into the train or something, or what's going on here?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a big theory. big something
So
theaters.
overall, gameplay wise, it's okay in terms of gameplay. It's
Yeah.
not the greatest because you're constantly stuck in water, moving around. It's very tough.
Yeah, because water slows down your characters, which really is a
Yeah.
pain in the butt. It's basically
There are some unique things though where you call that little little what do you call that thing at the start where you pull the lever and it shifts that thing to you? We stand on
like
it and
it's like a little boat or something like that, basically.
it doesn't even look like a boat though. That's the thing.
It's like
It's
a
like a
tram or
moving.
something. I think it's a water
Yeah,
tram.
I don't know, man, but
Yeah, you all viewers might know what we're talking
you
about.
escalate to that over.
Yeah. And I remember
It's
vividly when I played Swamp Fever, I remember I came across that freaking hanging charger, basically. You know, the one that's like hanged on like the two wood boards or something like that?
yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that the hanging charger basically symbolizes strength, which I know, which according to my friend Cookie Blitz pointed out, basically. Or
Yeah.
some people say that it's a reference to Half-Life. The reason why people say that it's a reference to Half-Life is because the charger's in the rough shape of a, the Lambda logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people say that the charger is an Easter egg to Half-Life, basically. I can kind of see it, but I don't think Half-Life and Left 4 Dead are connected. And besides, I think,
No.
and plus, if they were connected, then Gordon Freeman would be fighting a bunch of zombies by now.
That's true, that's true. But there is one confirmed universe together, which is the Payday and Left 4 Dead universe. Well,
Yeah, I'm here.
alright, so the Left the Left 4 Dead universe and Payday universe
Our
are
canon.
both yeah, they're canon. Because Payday, you could see Bill in the No Mercy map, and it's called No Mercy Hospital in Payday 2. So
Yeah, and
you can
you
put
can
two and two together.
yeah, and you can also have an interaction with the Payday crew too. Like you can basically say like something like just because you're wearing like $5,000 suits or something like that and whatnot. I
Hmm.
mean, it makes sense if they're canon, but here's the thing: Left 4 Dead came out before Payday the Heist came out, basically.
Yeah.
But I think it's still good. But moving on to the campaign I was talking about earlier, Blood Harvest. Now the reason why I
Okay.
find this one creepy is because if you remember carefully, in one of the rooms, you can find a very like brutal scene. Because if you open this one door, like in this one house, you'll see like a
Hmm.
bloody splatter with like a bunch of like guts on the floor, basically. At first, when I came across that, guess what? I thought it was a boomer, like a boomer's body next to like a
Hmm.
pile of blood. But until I
Yeah.
realized it's not a boomer because guess what? I walked over and looked behind it. It turns out it's a lawnmower. Now here's my theory on this. Maybe someone's grinding up basically, I guess, people like before they were infected or something for food.
Hmm.
Like, why would you? But here's the thing: why would you be a freaking cannibal during a zombie apocalypse? Because think about it. If you're, because here's the thing: if those bodies are infected bodies, in eating those, you could turn into infected too because because the freaking bodies are contaminated with like the green flu virus, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so yeah, and the reason why I say that that part scares me is because apparently because here's the thing. I remember when I was little, I was kind of afraid of blood. That's why, basically. Like I remember I was like I don't know how old I was, but I remember like I was like really young and I was like so being afraid of blood one time. So yeah, but now since I'm a grown man, I'm kind of over with it. Like I'm a grown guy and now get the understanding of it basically. All right, let's talk about a little bit
Hmm.
more about more campaigns, and we can start talking about like
Talk about like two more campaigns before I move on.
yeah. We'll move on to the characters after the two campaigns we were about to talk about.
So after Swamp Fever, you get on a boat and you go to the parish.
Yeah, the parish, which
Correct?
is which is the last
Now,
campaign.
one thing to say though is that we did not infect the
Boat driver.
the captain. There we go, the captain.
Yeah, basically
So
Virgil. That's his name.
yeah, so that probably disproves my theory on us infecting the pilot. So
Yeah. So yeah, but no, when it comes to the parish is an interesting campaign because Virgil drops you off to like another city or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And what is it called?
Mm-hmm.
And basically and he pointed out that he's gonna be saving other people and stuff. But here's the thing:
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of other people are alive at this point. They're probably all dead, or they're probably infected, like it says basically. And
Yeah.
what else? And a lot of people say that Virgil might die at some point, which I don't believe that's true, honestly. Like, why? But yeah, but in the parish, apparently, that game is that map is pretty interesting, to tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reason why I find the parish interesting is because uh what is it called? Is because
What's up?
sometimes I guess sometimes they I think because the way the military is like bombing the place, basically, I guess, because they're trying to
Yeah.
basically get rid of like the infected people, basically.
Hmm.
But they didn't realize that the other survivors are down there, so they're just pretty much bombing them, like wishing them they're dead, basically. And at the very end
Yeah.
of the parish, you basically have to run for your dang life. And I gotta tell you, when it comes to me and my nephew playing the parish, I had to, dude, it was a pain in the butt just to basically just run for my life, because I had to also bunny hop too, which we'll get to the techniques in a bit. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, and not to mention, guess what? The tank literally keeps on hitting the cars just to kill us, basically, because apparently we didn't know if you let a tank hit a car to hit you, right? Apparently, you can actually get killed or get knocked down, basically. And after that, guess what? When you go into the helicopter, which interestingly, this helicopter is the same one that flew away from Dead Center, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the same model and everything, basically. And then after that, the military just bombs the bridge, and that's the last time we'll see like the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors. Now, a lot of people say that the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors die at when they go to the military base, but yet again, I don't believe that, basically, because why would the military go out in their way just to kill, basically, like the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors? Like, what's the point of it? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But my guess is probably like they get, like, I don't know, they get put in their own homes that are safe. I guess that's my guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe just or maybe just they just put them, I guess, put there's somewhere safe so the zombies won't get to them and whatnot.
Yeah. So
So
in terms of gameplay wise, the Paris is one of the funner maps I do enjoy a lot. Great. It's great in general. You have a nice walk around. Very open area. You get some good moments in, like when you go into to that van, right, and you open it. There's an alarm you gotta disable. You know.
oh yeah, like that, like
Yeah, you know that part.
like the
It's very
what is
fun.
it,
The
like
bridge
this?
is very fun
Yeah,
too.
oh, that's true. I think that little van you go into, I think that's a CETA trailer, I guess.
It is a cedar van because it gives med kits, adrenaline, and pills.
Yeah. But here's the sad thing is that when you go to the spot where the cedar van is, apparently you see a bunch of dead bodies, but they're not infected. Basically, they're basically innocent people. Basically,
Hmm.
now here's my theory on this. Maybe Cedar like ended up basically turning on them and decided to kill them. Basically, so instead of curing them, basically,
Yeah,
or
it's a bit more scary than you think because they don't want to cure you; they just want to kill you.
yeah, like they just want to like turn on you, basically, kind of like how like in The Last of Us, where like one of the characters basically gets betrayed or something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all right, one last campaign. We gotta choose wisely for this one. One last one.
One last campaign.
We
Let
can
me
either
let me
pick
think.
a Left 4 Dead 1 campaign or a Left 4 Dead 2 campaign.
Let's go No Mercy. I think
No
No Mercy is a
Mercy,
pretty.
the
It's a
first.
great map.
It is the first ever Left 4 Dead map ever made. Basically, it takes place obviously, in a town where No Mercy Hospital is, basically, or Mercy Hospital, of course, that's what it's
Mm-hmm.
called. And apparently, guess what? You navigate through, of course, and what is it called? Until you reach the hospital, which is the same hospital that Bill went to, basically. Crazy story. And
Yeah.
And also, you get to see a lot of the patients wearing their hospital gowns as always, but you can also kind of see their rear, which is a really
Hmm.
weird detail if you ask me. But I guess that's how Left 4 Dead works. You just see a bunch of freaking zombies' rears, or zombie patient rears, I guess. That's my guess.
Gameplay wise, very fun, very fast gameplay. Very, there are moments where it is pretty cramped, which is pretty nice too for playing on versus. There's a lot of strategical spots too when you're playing infected. A lot of instant kills, a lot of parts where you can just jump people off, smoke them off. It's very fun.
Yeah, that is true. But
Map design is great overall. Let's talk about where we call the radio in and hold off until the helicopter.
yeah,
That's a pretty fun map
y-
part.
yeah, the finale where you on top of the building and stuff.
Yeah, the finale was pretty great.
The downside is that if the downside about it is that since you're on a roof, guess what? You basically have a higher risk of getting a charger charge you, or a hunter pounds you like off the roof. Obviously,
Yeah, when it comes to infected gameplay wise, playing as an infective, you can smoke people off, you can charge them off the map, and tanks can just throw you off, which is great in general for infected. Good for gameplay and strategic. It's very nice.
yeah, it's very cool, but yet at the same time, it can get annoying sometimes. It depends on how people play No Mercy, depending on them. I guess it's like their
Yeah.
own preference, basically. But overall, it's just how I guess it's just how they play. I guess. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right, that's enough of the campaigns. Now let's get to the characters. We're probably gonna make this episode long because we're gonna invite others like Luke, like my moderator and Lupe, I guess. But
Okay.
wait, let me wait. Water, isn't it like what break for you right now already?
No, not break, but I can stay up. Don't worry.
Okay,
I'm fine.
all right. But so let's get to the characters. Let's start. Okay, let's start off with Left 4 Dead 1 survivors. Who do you want to start with
Left
first?
4 Dead 1. Let's talk about the man himself, Bill.
Yup, Bill Overbeck, or his real name is William Overbeck. I'm not
Yeah.
joking. I actually did some research onto that. But yeah, but
Mm,
here's the thing about Bill for those who don't know who he is. We don't know how old he is. We could assume he's in his 60s because of his gray hair, of course.
yeah.
And not to mention he also served during his times in Vietnam, basically. He
Yes,
served.
he is a war veteran. He knows what he's doing when it comes to shooting. Great to have on the team.
Yep, and he wears a green beret, but not just any green beret. He wears the Special Forces green beret, or this is a French word, so please forgive my French or whatever this word means. The green beret has a patch that says "De Oppresso Labor," basically,
Yeah.
which means that he served in Vietnam in a group called the Green Berets, obviously, which is a really interesting group, basically, if you ask me. And
Yeah.
basically, he wields an M16. Obviously, everybody in Vietnam, especially the American side, they always wield M16s, basically, or M14s, depending on who's the soldier you're talking to, really, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, and basically, he's basically since he's a war veteran, guess what? He basically had to because after guess what? After he got old, guess what? There was no more wars basically waiting for him basically.
It's
And
only a
yeah,
war with zombies now.
yeah, and apparently from what I heard, according to basically to the Left 4 Dead comics, apparently he went to basically to the hospital, and to be specific, this hospital, obviously Mercy Hospital.
Yeah.
And apparently, well, he went to before he went there, he stayed at a veterans home, of course. And guess what? A new nurse, basically comes in and just to check up on him. And apparently, the nurse asked, are you expecting any family?" And for some reason, Bill decides to give the nurse the side eye, aka turn away, I guess. And basically, guess what? And the nurse says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did not mean to offend you," or something like that. And apparently, Bill grabs a carton of cigarettes, which is his I guess his basically his famous item, I guess. Apparently, because who wouldn't be a Vietnam War veteran while having a smoke or something like that? And apparently, the nurse told him that he's not allowed to smoke, of course. And apparently, guess what? This is according to basically one of my nearly favorite YouTubers, Wow Such Gaming, or Wow. Basically, that's how he starts his intro. Sorry for my cringe. Apparently, guess what? According to what he said, apparently Bill told the nurse to go fuck himself, basically, Excuse my language. Basically, and guess what? After that, guess what? He goes to the hospital, and guess what? The nurse told him to count down from 10, but he couldn't make it down to 1 because he fell asleep, obviously. But before he fell asleep, all of a sudden the doctor was getting attacked by an infected doctor, of course. Like he got attacked by an infected doctor zombie. And guess what? Bill decides to wake up from the sleeping gas, or is it sleeping gas or laughing gas? I don't know.
Pretty sure he's sleeping.
Yeah, and guess what? He decides to shake it off, and guess what? He decides to shove basically the zombie doctor away, and guess what? He runs to a nearby room, basically bare naked almost in his hospital gown, obviously. And what is it called? He grabbed. Guess what? He almost dozed off, but until he woke himself up. Like he woke up like he's trying his best to wake up immediately. You know what I'm saying? And he grabs a bone saw or or a surgical saw, actually, not bone, because to make more sense. And he ends up killing that doctor, basically. And guess what? He
Yeah.
puts on a raincoat, and basically he sees a bunch of zombies, but he holds up the saw to act like he's threatening them. And guess what? They actually backed away for some reason. I guess I guess I guess they're just terrified of him, I guess. And then after that, he runs home, or wait, yeah, he runs home to his apartment, and guess what? He opens his Foot Locker, and guess what he found? His old, basically, military attire. But not only that, his military attire, he also found like an old picture of his younger self, basically serving in the war with his old basically squad, basically.
Mm.
And apparently, if you didn't, I don't think you noticed, Water, but apparently Bill was a ginger. I think. The reason why I know this is because he has orange hair, basically.
Really?
In his in the comic picture, basically. And guess what?
Well, yeah.
After that, guess what? Bill decides to join basically the others. We got Francis, we got Lewis, and we got Zoe. Which we'll talk. Which character should we talk about next, Water?
I think you should choose.
Ooh, so we got Bill, which is my all-time favorite. I'd say let's go for Francis, the biker.
Francis! I love Francis, man. He's
Oh my
an
God.
asshole, but like, he cares,
Yeah, he may be an asshole on the outside, but in the inside, he does actually care, basically.
It's pretty nice.
Now,
He's
even-
pretty badass too.
Yeah. Now, even though you hear him saying, I hate islands. I have insulophobia." Or sometimes we hear him say, "I hate your feelings," and sometimes he says, "I hate the hospitals." Pretty much he almost hates everything, to be honest with you. But yeah, but basically, Francis basically served in the motorcycle club, and I don't want to say the name because I feel like it's disrespectful towards any people who's religious like me. Basically, let's just say it's something that has to do with the underworld and angels. Basically, let's just say that. But basically, he and here's the thing about Francis too, is that during his times with his biker gang, obviously, yes, this is taken from the comics, right? During his times in the biker gang, guess what? Him and his friends were just chilling until one time a girl, like a drunk girl or something, fell onto him, and then she ended up vomiting on his vest, which is which is really disgusting because, as you may know, vomit smells really nasty.
Of course.
And obviously, yes, he always, and for some reason in the opening cinematic cutscene for Left 4 Dead 1, for some reason, guess what? When he takes care of a smoker, which we'll get to a special effect in any moment. Guess what? When he takes care of the smoker, guess what? For Bill, because Bill was getting dragged by a smoker. Just to recap in the opening cutscene. Apparently, guess what? After he kills a bunch of zombies, like he kills two of them, like one on his left, one on his right. Apparently, guess what? He said this to Bill. He says, "Merry Christmas." Probably, I'm guessing Francis doesn't know holidays as much. I guess he just knows his birthday. I think that's the only thing he knows. But yeah, and what else about Francis? The only thing he loves is basically motorcycles and a sniper rifle with a sweet scope, like according to what he said in the game, a shotgun, and what else? And he also has a crush. And to specific who,
Really?
he has a he has a crush on Rochelle, basically.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, because apparently, according to one of the trailers, I think it was the passing trailer. Apparently, guess what? Rochelle says, "I hate those stairs." And apparently, Francis says this, and I do apologize for taking God's name in vain. He says, "Oh my God, you hate stuff too?" And then they just, yeah,
That's funny.
yeah, and they just played along basically. They played along basically until basically Rochelle took it too far, and she said, "I hate your vest." And then he says, "What now?" Sorry, I don't think this is gonna work. And then all of a sudden, the end just plays romantic music or something.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I could just imagine Rochelle changing her mind, saying, "But Francis, I love you," or something like that, and then Francis just hooked onto her. Yeah, and but yeah, so Francis is a pretty funny guy. I gotta tell you that he really does. And the fact that he really cares for his squad, I think the fact he cares for like Lewis, because I remember one time when I was playing Left 4 Dead one time, like with basically my other crew, obviously.
Yeah.
There was this really rare. I don't know how rare this is, but I think it is rare. But there's a rare chance when Lewis dies, apparently Francis will say, "Oh crap, I was trying to like that guy," which implies that, which I guess implies that he wants to be best friends with him. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. Honestly, like they would be perfect friends together. Like,
Yeah.
but one last thing I want, or actually two more things that I want to say about Francis. What else about him? He's also a womanizer, aka he's into a lot of women at one point. But since he has a crush on Rochelle, I guess he has to stop. But yeah, and one thing about Francis is that he's wearing a short sleeve leather jacket, and I was like wondering how the heck is he handling all this cold? Like it gets like here's the thing, he has to go through like cold water and windy stuff and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? I'm guessing
you're right.
I'm guessing the leather jacket he wears kind of warms his body up. I guess I don't know, but yet again, that's just my theory. But yeah, all right. Next character, you choose. Water, Zoe or Lewis?
Oh, Lewis.
Yep,
Lewis.
the bald black man, basically. Sorry for that, but basically, Lewis is interesting because the reason why I find because guess what? Apparently, Lewis was an office worker at one point, but one time when he was in the bathroom doing his business, you know what I'm saying, dropping a dookie or dropping a nuke, let's just say. Guess what? One time, guess what? He hears pounding on the other side of the stall, and all of a sudden he hears a gunshot, which implies that coworker of his just killed himself, basically.
What a great way to start my day.
Yeah, and so there's really not much about Lewis. Well, besides him being obsessed with pills.
Bill's here.
Like
Bill's
I remember I was watching a funny source filmmaker of, I think it's called Infectious Stupidity Contagious or something like that. Where basically, apparently the witch tries to steal freaking Lewis's pills, and then Lewis senses that, and he straight up turns into a witch himself. And guess what? He just,
I mean,
yeah,
he's a positive guy. You know how Francis he's like, this is going to shit. He's Lewis always gotta be like, stay positive, man. Come on,
yeah,
So he's getting through it,
yeah. Not to mention, he also speaks Japanese too, because when he
I did not know that.
apparently in one of the safe rooms, I think it's the sacrifice, in one of the sacrifice ones. I forgot what chapter, but I believe it's the second one. But apparently, guess what? Apparently, Francis asks basically Lewis to translate what's the writing on like the wall, and then Francis is like, "Whoa, how'd you do that?" And guess what? And Francis just straight up requests to tell Lewis, tell Lewis to make him say Bill is an asshole in Japanese, basically.
Bill-san, baka desu.
Well, yeah. So, what else about Lewis? Basically, not to mention, he in the passing, guess what? He actually has an injury on his knee, on his leg. Now,
Really?
now, according to the comics of Left 4 Dead, apparently, guess what? You know, the boat that they were supposed to be on, basically to escape.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, guess what? Lewis kind of being a kind of an idiot a little bit. No offense to Earl Alexander, the voice actor of him. No offense.
Uh-huh.
According to the Left 4 Dead comics, apparently there was like freaking witches in there, but they're not ordinary witches. They're witches, but they're in bikinis. And there was like,
Okay.
yeah, and there was like a lot of them basically. And guess what? Bill decides to basically, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna throw a Molotov down there. And apparently one of the witches scratches basically Lewis's leg ended up
Mm-hmm.
injuring him basically. And also, not to mention, if you look closely at Bill's model, I forgot to mention this when we were talking about Bill, but I'll make this quick. But apparently, guess what? What is it called? Apparently, guess what? Bill has a big scratch mark on the back of his army jacket. Now, this could imply that he got attacked by a witch once, or probably because his army jacket's getting old. Because I believe when a certain type of clothing gets old, apparently it tears easily. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But my theory is probably the witch theory because it kind of fits it. Because if you look at the rip mark, it looks exactly like a witch scratch mark. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Last but not least, we got everybody's favorite character that they simp over,
Zoe.
Zoe. Now Zoe is a college student. If y'all didn't know, by the way, if
Mm-hmm.
you wonder how old is she, we'll get to the ages in a bit, but I'll tell you how old Zoe is right now. Zoe is 20 years old. By the way, yeah, she's 20 years old. She's like a year older
Oof.
than me, basically. And
That is a lot.
yeah, and let me tell you right now, and besides her not knowing that Ellis has a crush on her, but here's a funny thing. At the end of the passing, apparently, if you basically beat it, there's a rare chance of Zoe saying, "If I ever about to tell you that at the time that my buddy Ellis run a bunch of zombies with his car."
Uh,
Oh, classic. But yeah,
yeah, has a lot of character. She has a lot of character. You
yeah.
know?
She also
She's
has
very,
a sense of humor. I gotta tell you that.
yeah,
And not to
good
mention,
personality.
yeah, good personality. Also the way she laughs, too, is kind of funny too. I gotta tell you that because
Hmm.
when you press the laugh dialogue, apparently there's different laughs she can do. Basically, sometimes she can do like a
Yeah.
sassy one, or sometimes she can sometimes sound like basically a straight up toddler. Basically, not a toddler, but she sounds like she laughs kind of adorably. Basically, if that makes sense or something.
Mm-hmm.
But the voice actress for Zoe, Jen Taylor, she by the way, I think she's 54, by the way, but she really did bring Zoe to life.
Yeah,
Yeah,
great voice actor.
yeah. Well, we'll talk about the original concepts of the characters once we get to the cut content, I guess. Um,
Sure.
but
Two Left 4 Dead 2 characters now.
not yet. We're almost done with Zoe yet. And here's the thing about
Still
Zoe.
more? Okay.
We're almost done. Yeah. Apparently,
Okay.
according to Zoe, guess what? She had probably one of the saddest lives I ever seen to a character, and I probably say this was probably the saddest because I wouldn't believe it, because apparently she was at home because she basically stayed home instead of going to classes. Of course, like she decided to be a lazy girl. Of course, like she's pretty much committing sloth if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, guess what? When she came home, guess what? Guess what? Everything was fine at first, but until her dad got attacked by her mom because she was turning into a zombie, and apparently Zoe had no choice but just to end both of their lives, basically. And now she ended up
Yeah.
with Bill, Francis, and Lewis, basically. But overall, at least Zoe's basically telling Bill that she loves him, basically, because apparently, Bill treats her like basically either like a dad or either like a grandpa, basically. But honestly, I think Bill loves his friends more than he thinks. Like he loves them like family. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Now next up, Left 4 Dead 2 survivors, and oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. All right, Water, you want to go first? You want to choose one?
Of course, my favorite, Nick.
Oh, Nick, the gambler.
Your favorite fancy asshole. But in the end, he's a pretty good guy.
Yeah, so Nick is interesting, basically. Even though there's no Left 4 Dead 2 comics, but we'll summarize what he's like. So basically, he's an asshole on the outside, but on the inside, he does actually have a heart. Just to tell you that he has a heart of gold, according to what Rochelle says. Now,
Yeah.
now basically, here's a weird thing about Nick. I don't think you noticed this about him. Apparently, he is a huge womanizer, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently the way I noticed is because apparently he has a lipstick smudge on his collar, a hickey on his neck, basically meaning that he has been going through a lot of freaky time, basically, I guess, before the green flu broke out.
Okay.
And here's the thing, whenever he hears a witch crying, right? Sometimes he will say, "Sounds like my ex-wife," which implies he, yeah, which probably implies that he was probably once married before the green flu broke out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and besides him gambling so much, obviously, which makes sense because he does gamble. I'll just tell you that, obviously, because of his suit. But here's the thing about Nick, though. In his original concept, guess what? He was originally planning to be an escaped convict who actually escaped prison and stole some nice clothes. But I think they scrapped that because I don't think that fits Nick really well, basically.
Yeah.
And what else? And also, guess what? The voice actor who plays Nick doesn't actually that's not bad, doesn't even look like Nick himself. But until when you do more research, his face model is actually based off of you guessed it, Tamar Ghazi, basically. Now, if you don't know who he is, he's a very famous actor. Like he looks like a famous actor who would be perfect friends with Nicolas Cage or something like that. And I'm not gonna lie, when I searched Tamar Ghazi, I can't unsee that he looks literally like Nick. I mean, it's literally him, basically. And also, you should check out Taymor's TikTok or his social media page. Basically, he apparently hangs out with his basically his friends and all that. And here's the sweet thing about Taymor. By the way, you already know this, Water, but my viewers don't. But apparently, guess what? Taymor is gonna be a dad. Would you believe that? Jeez,
It's amazing, man.
yeah, he's gonna be a daddy. Oh my gosh. By the way, he's having 2 children, by the way. It's crazy. And some people left funny comments in his TikTok. Some people say that he should name one of the kids Alice or something. And yeah, honestly, I can kind of see it. Honestly, to be honest. And what else about Tamor?
Hmm.
Also, he also obviously he could since he's been also since he's been mentioned that he looks like Nick, he has no choice but to dress up as Nick, of course, basically. Yeah, and he puts on the suit, but the only thing he only added is he only wore his own jewelry because if you look closely on the jewelry Nick wears, he wears like 3 gold rings, 2 on so he wears 2 on his middle finger, but 1 on his pinky. But here's a crazy thing about you didn't know about Nick's rings, Water. Apparently, if you look closely at one of them, basically, apparently it has like the symbol of a gang, and if you're wondering the symbol of a gang is, apparently it's the same gang symbol for Francis, basically.
Really?
Now, this could imply that this was once belonged to Francis, or probably he just stole it from somebody. I guess I don't know. Like I could be.
There's a kind of a correlation there.
Yeah. Now, or maybe, just maybe Nick originally like hanged out with Francis before. I guess I don't know. Because here's the thing: at the end of the passing, you hear Francis say, "Take care, brother." Basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
Could be it.
but that could imply that they actually once met, or they just basically what is it called? They just basically I guess and I guess they just know each other before, I guess. But yeah, and I remember I was watching a video of BG Beans' source filmmaker. By the way, she's taking a massive break off of source filmmaking. She basically turns Left 4 Dead 2 campaigns into a cinematic movie, basically, like chapter by chapter. And apparently, guess what? In one of them, in the passing, she didn't finish it, but it's okay, which is understandable. But apparently, guess what? When she was, guess what? She actually had a really genius idea. for what to do to Nick. Basically, you know what she did? So
Mm-hmm.
basically,
What?
Nick basically has a scar at the time, basically in the film, basically. And guess what? As he walks into the generator room, he sees a dead body, and you obviously know who that dead body is, Bill, obviously. And guess what?
Yeah.
Nick being a dick here. Sorry for that rhyming there. Nick being a dick and decided to be like, ooh, a new gun. And guess what? He decides to take Bill's M16, and he was about to step out, and he's like, and guess what? He realizes how much that really basically will hurt the veteran's heart. So
Mm-hmm.
guess what? He was like, what am I doing? And he basically puts on that basically feel bad face. And guess what? He ends up basically fixing Bill, putting his gun back, and put his hat back on, aka his beret. And then after that, he goes up to Francis. He goes up to Francis and Zoe, and he basically apologized for their loss. Now, basically, and what really pisses me off is that they actually removed these unused dialogue, basically. Because originally, guess what? Guess what? Nick was originally planning to apologize to Ellis for like basically telling him how much of a pig he is, basically, because he
Mm-hmm.
always yaps about Keith, which we'll get to Alice in a bit, of course.
Yeah.
But overall, even though Nick might be a dick on the outside, but on the inside he does have a heart. Like he has a heart for his.
He does kind of resemble me. I feel like him, you know.
But yeah, so
Hey,
that's pretty much Nick right there. That's all I gotta say. You know, the white.
next character, your choice.
All right, next character. Ooh, the Yapper man himself, Ellis. Okay.
Have I ever told you about that time I did a podcast with Will?
Okay. Okay. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Okay, I gotta be honest, Water. Ellis is kind of me, to be honest, because
Really?
I always yap a lot, to be honest. I mean, that's kind of I mean, I'm telling you the truth. I always yap a lot, to tell you the truth.
He does have a fuck ton of voice lines, a
He-
bunch of dialogue.
yeah,
He has a lot.
does. Yeah, it's crazy. And here's the thing about Ellis. Once again, all these never came from the Left 4 Dead 2 comics because it never existed. So we never know what happens. But well, from what I know, Ellis was originally a mechanic, which explains his overalls basically.
Yeah.
And he basically fixes cars obviously because that's what mechanics do. What the heck are they supposed to do? Be jacking off or something?
Okay. I mean, technically, yeah. Not like because they have jacks, bro.
But yeah, and basically he wears, and he also wears like a unique shirt. I forgot what it says. I see something like about bulls or something like that, I guess. And he also wears a hat,
Yeah.
obviously.
The
Yeah.
bull shifters, pretty sure.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
them. And sometimes, and guess what? Sometimes Rochelle compliments him, basically.
Hmm.
And and I gotta tell you, that's pretty sweet of her. And what else about Ellis? He always yaps. And speaking of that, he always yaps about Keith. But here's the thing: who exactly is Keith? You know,
We never get to see Keith.
yeah, because apparently he always brings up him, and he always says that Keith did these like stupid things, basically. Like for example, like tattoo "I'm a moron" on his forehead for like what $200 or something.
Man, 200 is not worth that, bro. Come on.
Yeah, and a lot of people say that Keith is a mystery, basically. Like he's like some unknown character that we never get to see, basically. Or some people think that Alice is making the story up, basically. Like he's making up the story just to make them basically jealous, basically, I guess. But I feel like Keith was originally a real person and stuff. So yeah. And to be honest with you, I kind of do not like it when Nick decides to be a dick and tells Alice to shut up during the stories. Because come on, Nick. Even though he's
I mean, I do that too, not gonna lie.
yeah, I mean think about it. Alice is 23 and Nick is 35, so there's an age gap difference there. If you ask me.
Mm.
But yeah, but Ellis he's a pretty interesting guy. He loves, and obviously he loves Zoe. Like, come on now, like who wouldn't?
Uh-huh.
Who wouldn't? And basically, what is it called? What he basically, and pretty much he in the opening cutscene he always says kill all sons of bitches. That's my official instructions. And it just shows
I
like,
love that. That was a great one.
yeah, and it just shows a cinematic of them basically shooting a bunch of zombies and stuff, which is pretty cool if you ask me.
A great introduction for first-time players of Left
Yeah,
4 Dead.
yeah, exactly. Especially if they like, especially when they watch the trailer for the first time, they'd be like so hype over it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, damn, he's such a badass, bro.
Yeah, yeah, and what else about Ellis? Oh yeah, his face model. Now he also does as a face model, of course, because the voice actor of
Mhm.
him doesn't look like him, but his face model does, obviously, because it's obviously him. But guess what? Here's the thing about his face model. He's also married too, by the way, and not to
Mhm.
mention he also has his own kids of his own too. It's crazy. I gotta tell you that. But he's kind of getting old because the way I noticed, because guess what? He's growing out his hair and he's growing out his beard. Oh
Mm.
man, it's hard to see Ellis's face model getting old. But here's a funny thing. Here's a funny thing. I was on
Oh,
Taymor's TikTok one time, a TikTok page, and I saw this video of him hanging out with Ellis's face model. I forgot his name. I'll just call him Ellis, I guess, for the sake of it. Um
what's up?
um. Hold on a second. So yeah, basically, what is
Hmm.
it called? Oh, okay, but basically, I remember I was basically Tamor in Ellis's face model. Guess what? They were sitting on like the sidewalk, basically, and guess what? There was like this audio playing. Like it says like, "Oh gosh, hey, and Danny, can you tell me something to piss me off?" And then it just shows like subtitles. Basically, it just shows basically text on screen saying, "Call of Duty is much better than Left 4 Dead 2," and they just both got up because they got so pissed at that. I
That's
guess
funny.
I guess that's one good reason that you should never make fun of the Left 4 Dead community. Because here's the thing, I'm kind of part of the Left 4 Dead community, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
So that's that. If someone ever says that, I'm not letting that slide. I'm gonna grab that Left 4 Dead and smack the living Call of Duty out of them.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, so that's pretty much Ellis right there. And his face model is married. He has kids of his own. It's crazy. And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's pretty much I know about Ellis. All right,
All right,
next.
moving on.
All right, next
Yo,
characters.
Coach,
Co-
one man cheeseburger apocalypse man.
all
Mhm.
right, all right. Lupe is gonna join us. You ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Welcome in, Lupe. We're doing our good old podcast. Of course, we're talking about Left 4 Dead.
Awesome.
All right, let's talk about Coach next. Of course. Okay, Coach is a funny one because he's a basically, like you said, water one man cheeseburger apocalypse. And what else about? And here's the thing about Coach. He was once a high school coach because apparently I think he basically was a PE teacher in a school called Florida High. I guess. Hello, Jared. Welcome to the chat. Um, by the way, my live stream chat, if you're wondering. You're stuck at work. Oh gosh. But yeah, so basically, basically, Coach basically is a PE teacher in Florida High, of course, and
Mhm.
basically, he's quite a funny guy. I gotta admit, basically.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I was like messing around with his his voice lines and his laughs and stuff. He was like one of them did actually made me kind of laugh hard because it went like oh hell yeah.
tweaking, bro.
Yeah, basically, I'm not gonna lie, that really did make me laugh so hard over that, to be honest with you. But here's the thing, Coach is not his real name, because apparently, according to the voice actor of him, he actually confirmed what his real name is. You guys want to know his real name?
What's his real name?
Drum roll for me, please. Wendell Jones. That's his name.
Really?
Yeah, according to the voice actor of Coach, he confirmed that Coach's real name is Wendell Jones, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and for some reason, he could always go for a barbecue bacon burger with a hot apple pie.
Barbecue bacon burger.
One man
Barbecue bacon
cheeseburger
burger.
apocalypse. But yes, and also one best thing about Coach, he did it. He once again, I'm gonna mention BGB, and by the way, big shout outs to her. She really did a good job and stuff. His smell. Jared, just to recap, it's Wendell Jones. But basically, guess what? I remember one time I was watching BGG's video. Apparently, guess what? Coach asked Rochelle and Ellis to join in a prayer, basically, and I thought that was the coolest detail I ever heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because all Coach wants is just some food, because I bet basically Coach is hungry after all this shooting. But I honestly think all the food is contaminated, to be honest with you. So I don't think eating contaminated food would be good for your health. And besides, I think you can get the virus much quicker that way, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much Coach right there. He's pretty funny. He's at this point, he's almost every PE teacher, in my opinion. And what else about him? Oh yeah, he also kind of hates it when Nick, Nick, obviously. Guess what? He kind of hates it when. Yeah, thank you, Jared, for participating. But apparently, guess what? Nick basically made a really racist joke about Coach.
Really?
Because apparently he says something about like the helicopter being chocolate or something, and then Coach gives him that racist stare.
Chocolate.
Like he says, like, let's hope that's not made out of chocolate.
Chocolate.
I'm not gonna lie, that episode of SpongeBob terrified me as a kid. I'm not even joking. I had nightmares about that guy just saying freaking chocolate over and again.
Chocolate. It's
But-
pretty funny, yeah.
Yeah, but now since I'm an adult now, I feel okay now because of it. Now last character, I guess. Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Apparently, a lot of people in the Left 4 Dead community hated her because of her AI.
Me too.
Yeah.
I hate her too. Every time I'm playing Left 4 Dead and I'm down, where is she? She's nowhere to be seen. She's stuck 50 miles behind us, and I'm over here getting jumped by a Charger, Spitter, and Hunter, and she's doing jack shit. You know, it's just crazy.
Yeah.
So
but
it actually became a routine with me and my friends. If we're in a campaign with Rochelle, we kill her because she actually slows us down. You know,
basically she's
just
selling.
She's selling. You know, we just kill her. You know, we hate her. It became a routine.
Yeah. But but overall, but here's the thing about Rochelle. She also has a lot of unused voice lines. Basically, she was originally planning to entertain like the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors. Like there was like she was originally planning saying, "Hey, Coach, there's a burger museum up ahead. There's a car museum ahead, Alice." And for some reason, Nick decided to be an a-hole and say, "Yeah, no thanks" and stuff. Basically, and but overall, Rochelle can be annoying in my opinion. But since you said that she really falls behind like a total idiot.
Yeah,
but
just because of the AI.
Yeah, and once again we have another simp here. She simps over Francis, of course, and because apparently Francis is into her. But yeah, I mean they would be a perfect couple, I guess. I mean, we got Ellis and Zoe being a perfect couple, while Francis and Rochelle get together, I guess. But yeah, but now moving on, let's get to their ages. So basically, Zoe. Okay, so the youngest character in Left 4 Dead universe is Zoe. She's 20 years old, and the second Ellis. He's 23. Lewis. He's 27. Rochelle. She's 29. Nick, basically is 35. Francis is 36. So basically, he's older than Nick. Basically, a year older. But and Coach is 44. I'm gonna keep it real. I thought he was like 39 or something. And lastly but not least, this is an unknown age, but some people assume that Bill is in his 60s, which would make Bill the oldest in the Left 4 Dead universe, honestly, because there's hardly anybody in the Left 4 Dead universe.
I mean, can't argue with that.
Yeah, but since he passed away, may he rest in peace, basically. Now let's move on to other characters. First off, Keith. We don't know who exactly he is.
He's unknown.
Yeah, it is unknown who exactly he is. Maybe he was a close friend of Ellis or something, or maybe he's fictional. Maybe he's fictional according to what people say, or something.
He's an imaginary friend.
Yeah, I swear.
Ellis is schizophrenic, bro.
I was about to say that. I'm gonna keep it real with you. But yeah, so basically, apparently, Ellis probably made him up or whatever, basically. So we don't know much about Keith besides him basically suffering burns, tattooing "I'm a moron" on his head for $200 or something like that, and Ellis talking about that Keith likes different kinds of food, like he likes sushi, crawfish, and like all that jazz. I guess I don't know. But yeah, so that's pretty much all we know about Keith. Like we don't exactly know who he is, like who is he previously, basically. So that's all I gotta say. Now next up we got basically Virgil, basically. Now Virgil is the boat captain in the boat, obviously, right? And
Welcome back, everyone.
welcome back. Basically Virgil is basically the boat captain of the boat, obviously. He takes you from, I think he takes you to, basically he picks you up from Swamp Fever to Hard Rain to then the Parish, basically. I think that's how the order goes, basically. You know what I'm saying, Water?
Yeah.
And apparently, guess what? We don't know much about him besides him being a captain of a boat, obviously. And once again, we do not know what he looks like. Obviously, like we don't have a model of who he looks like, so we could just assume that he's just a random NPC that we talk to, basically. Now, next up, the helicopter pilot, the most famous but yet character that dies off almost every Left 4 Dead campaign, basically. We can either see him like laying down, leaning against a wall, or sometimes we see him charred, like burned, basically. And basically, we don't know his real name. We could assume we could assume we were never given his name, I guess. And basically, he wears like glasses, a hat, a jacket, a floral shirt, which is like shirt with like flowers and like a Hawaiian shirt, basically. If you know what I'm talking about, and basically what is it called? Shoot.
Yeah.
Basically, he basically picks up the survivors. Of course, that's how his rescue mission works, I guess. But yeah, and he always gets shot down, of course. And of course, in every Left 4 Dead campaign, guess what? Whenever they use the helicopter pilot model, they always reuse the same model, basically.
Yeah.
Now, my guess is because they probably ran out of time, or it's probably because they don't want to like basically make different helicopter models or something like that. That's my guess. And basically, he's also voiced by, I forgot who's he voiced by. He's voiced by one of the TF2 actors.
Really?
I think Dennis Bateman. That's his name. The guy who plays the spy. And
Really? I did not know that.
yeah. And by the way, Dennis Bateman, he's quite a handsome fellow. I gotta tell you that. But yeah, and also the witch, like the little singing that she does. Guess what? Guess what? The actress who sings it is Ellen McLean, the voice of the administrator for TF2, basically.
Or the what?
The administrator, basically.
Yeah,
What's
I know that one.
Yeah. What's up?
What's TF2?
Team Fortress 2, one of my childhood games. Yeah, and what else? So we got Virgil, the helicopter pilot, Keith. Oh yeah, of course, the church guy. Now we encounter this guy.
Oh right, he turns into a special infected when we open it.
Yeah, basically we find him in Death Toll, basically. And basically, if you go to the church, apparently, guess what? If you don't interact with the door, apparently, guess what? You can hear him basically say, I can't believe he bit me. I must be immune. Better safe than sorry, basically. And if you notice, he repeats the phrase, better safe than sorry, basically.
That's true.
Which I don't know what it means. Maybe he's about to turn, or maybe he's about to do something, basically. Now, here's a theory on this. My guess is basically he lived in the church. The way I know this is because if you go up the roof, you can actually see a bed there. Like, he was once living there, basically.
Yeah.
And my guess is he let in a survivor, but what he didn't realize is that survivor was infected, and so I guess he bit the church guy, basically. And so basically he and the church guy thinks he's immune, basically. Like, he's like not gonna turn into a zombie, basically. But after when the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors encountered him, guess what? You have to fight off a bunch of hordes because he rang the church bell just to alert them. Basically, he's basically ringing them up to say, like, wake up, it's dinner time! Basically. And then after, guess what? He gets defeated. After when all the zombies are dead, guess what? He feels defeated, but all of a sudden, you hear him change. Like, he went from, like, he starts sounding like that, basically. He starts like muttering.
Amazing voice acting.
Yeah, somebody hire me, please. Yeah, and he keeps on doing it. Like, he said, basically. And guess what? He can spawn on three different infecteds. He can special infected, by the way. He can either spawn as a smoker, hunter, or smoker, hunter.
Was it spitter? Or was it charger? No, it was charger.
Not
right?
charger. Wait, no. Smoker, hunter. What was the third one? I swear.
I thought it was charger. Oh no, boomer. It was boomer.
Boomer. There we go. Yeah.
There we go. It was boomer.
I was having trouble with that.
There we go. It was boomer.
Yeah, but there's a mod that makes him into a tank, which I don't understand how.
Huh.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Bless you. Jeez.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was a big one.
Yeah. That sounds like a typical Asian sneeze. I'm not gonna lie with you.
We are the loudest sneezers. That's true.
Yeah, we can sneeze all the way to Springfield and Homer Simpson's hometown. All right, so we got the church guy, helicopter pilot, Virgil, Keith. Oh yeah, everybody's is almost personal favorite. I don't know if it's their perfect favorite, but it's none other than Whitaker, basically.
Whitaker,
the gun store manager, basically. Now, basically, guess what? We don't know what he was. We don't know what his original plan was. Like, we don't know what he was doing there. Basically, my guess, he's basically sheltering just to prevent like the zombies biting him. I guess. Basically,
I guess he didn't want to go to the store for some cola, so we had to get it for him.
Yeah, he decides to be a lazy motherfreaker. That's what he is, I guess.
But he did help us in the end.
Yeah, he did help us.
Also, that also means, so when he blows up that like gas truck, right?
Yeah, the propane
like
tank.
That's how you know. That actually foreshadows, like, wait, are there RPGs in Left 4 Dead? Because that wasn't a grenade launcher. He directly shot a rocket at it. So
yeah,
I was like, wow.
Yeah, so we didn't know much about Whitaker, basically.
Yeah.
And we don't know if he's immune or not immune, basically. But according to some people, is that if you play the passive, you could actually find a fallen survivor that looks like him. So my guess is maybe Whitaker turned into a zombie. I guess.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
And obviously, guess what? He allows the survivors to take his guns because it's the zombie apocalypse. Because that's how it works, I guess. And if for some reason the guns in the gun store are overpriced, like geez, like $1,000 for a Desert Eagle or something, jeepers.
No, that's pretty reasonable actually.
Gun
And Desert
inflation.
Eagle,
Mm-hmm.
Desert Eagle is like 1,000, 1,200.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, I know. Desert Eagle shoot 50 AE, so
Yeah.
it's pretty expensive.
That makes a lot of sense. But yeah. But overall, Whitaker is an interesting character, basically. Even though we never know much about the guy, we only know that he's a gun store owner, basically. And and if you also use no clip, you can actually see what he does look like, basically. He basically uses the Fallen Survivor texture, but except his skin is like pale, basically, like white, like whitish pale, basically. And so that's pretty much Whitaker right there. All we know is he's a gun store manager. He basically wants his cola. Like, hold on a minute. Hold on. Why cola? Doesn't he need food too? Do you guys
I
realize?
mean, you could live off the sugar. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, true. But I don't know, man. That could be false or something. I don't know. But yeah. So that's pretty much the characters that we know. Now moving on to
Yeah.
you want to do special infected or you want to do weapons?
Let's do our favorite weapons. I need to talk about my.
Oh yeah, and we can also talk about like what they should add possibly too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about some
My
of our
favorite
weapons.
weapons. I would have to go with any automatic shotgun or sniper, specifically military sniper or hunting rifle.
Nice, good choice.
And when it comes to shotguns, it goes the XM10 or the Spaz 12. Your
Ooh.
classic.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm more of an automatic guy. To be honest, like I'm more of an automatic rifle guy, because the reason why I'm an automatic person is because one, I kind of like the vibe and stuff, and it kind of fits my personality a little bit. And to be specific, I do like the M16 and like I like the AK, of course, I like.
Oh, the AK is also another good pick. If I'm not using any of those weapons, the AK is still a good pick for me. I love the AK.
Yeah, the AK is a pretty good gun. But the M16 though, here's a little detail that you might not know about the M16. Is that at the end of in the passing, guess what? When you pick up Bill's M16, it's a lot different than the other M16s. The reason why is because you can actually see a blood stain on the gun, basically.
Oh, really? That's a detail I didn't notice.
Yeah, basically that implies that Bill is dead, basically.
Ooh.
But yeah, but here's the thing: even though the M16 in the game is fully automatic, but the model of it is an M16A2, which is a burst weapon, basically used by police officers or desert soldiers that are serving in, I think, Iraq. I don't know, but I guess but my guess is basically they just took a regular M16A1 rifle and took the receiver part, which is like the gun receiver.
Yeah.
You know what part I'm talking about. And they just replace it with the A2 receiver. That's my guess. But overall, the M16 is a pretty good gun, especially if you use like a modded version, like especially Primaries Remastered. I love using that mod because it makes the gun look zombie apocalypse, like it looks ready and stuff. Because apparently, if you pick up the M16, you can actually see zip ties on to hold the flashlight in place, and not only that, you can also see the sling too, basically, which is, you know what a sling is, Water, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What's a sling?
It's basically this little rope thingy that you put on your gun, and you can basically put it around your back like a backpack, basically.
Right.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And what other weapons I like? I also kind of like the chain gun or the M60 in the game, even though it's like really rare to find, but I like it.
Oh yeah, and you can't even refill it if you wanted to.
Yeah, it's kind of stupid in my opinion. Like I don't like
Like,
that.
come on, man, let me refill my gun.
Yeah, like come on, like you want, like let me honor Bill's like sacrifice or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so and for pistols, there's only 2 pistols. I kind of do like the Desert Eagle because it does pack a punch.
I think the Deagle is the best, but personally, when it comes to secondaries, I use a melee. Katana, it's gotta be my favorite, or the frying pan. Makes a funny little ass noise.
Dong!
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
you, I have an idea.
What?
They should add suppressors to the guns.
Well, I don't think there's a point of it because you know why?
Yeah, you don't need to be sneaky in a zombie apocalypse now. They're gonna know you're there.
Yeah, they can sense that they can sense you that you're there, basically. Like they can smell you, basically. I mean, originally Left 4 Dead was originally playing at detachments, but once again, we'll get to the concepts later, basically. But yeah, here's the other guns they should add. They should add other guns besides like the primary guns we know of, basically, like the Scar, the AK, the M16. You know it. You know what they should add? They should add more explosives, basically. Like
More
they should,
explosive.
like they should add like what throwable grenades and throwable C4s or something like that. But you know what they should really add? A rocket launcher because here's the thing: when you see Whitaker shoot a rocket from his building, guess what? That is not a grenade launcher. That's a missile, basically.
Yeah.
And what else should they add? They also should add different shotguns. But speaking of different shotguns, what shotguns do you guys think they should add? Basically, I think they should add the AH
Double barrel.
Double barrel. That one is a classic.
I don't believe an AA-12 would be useful because you already have an automatic shotgun such as the Spats 12
Yeah,
or
because
the
it's a spam gun.
XM10. Yeah, a double barrel would be very interesting as only 2 shots but heavy damage. I feel like it would be a strategic gun, very fun to use too.
Yeah, and as for rifles, I think they should add like I don't know 2 more rifles or something.
2 more rifles. What do you think?
I feel like they should add a what is it called? They should probably add like what rifles do I think should they add?
Well,
Yes,
you know what they should add? They should add a grenade launcher.
they already
already do.
They already have the game. They already have that in the game.
A grenade launcher?
Yeah, but
Have you
it's
played Left 4 Dead?
he has the maps are like just too big basically.
Oh, he hasn't found one.
I guess. But what rifle? Oh my gosh. Do you think they should add the Galil?
The Galil? Is that a burst?
It's
Or
like
am I
a it's like a really weird version of an AK.
I know what a Galil is. Okay, no, I remember now. It is not a burst. It's like a smaller mag AK, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much. Nah. When it comes to rifles, there's not many unique rifles. When you think of rifles, you think of the M4 or the AK. There's nothing
Yeah.
else to it.
They should probably
If you want to talk about burst, maybe the F and FAL.
maybe
maybe.
yeah.
F and FAL is a pretty good one.
Yeah. And what else? What other pistols should they add besides like the
So you already have semi-automatics and a deagle. So think about a good secondary for a pistol. You
maybe
could
a
do
revolver.
a revolver. Yep.
Yeah, a
Yep.
revolver.
Both thinking the same thing. Revolver. It's the second thing. I mean, third thing you would think of after deagle and a semi-automatic pistol.
What
Revolver would be good. I feel like it should be headshot orientated, so more headshots, like
more effective.
easier damage, more effective.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about a revolver, we're talking about your 6-chamber or 8-chamber.
Oh yeah, we should just do 6 for now, just to keep it simple. Because I feel
Six-chamber.
like 8 is more like a powerful revolver, in my opinion.
So like your simple Python or something,
Yeah, like
Peacemaker,
a
right?
Python or a snub nose or something like that,
Snubnose is a bit weak in my opinion.
or a 44 Magnum. Yeah, either one.
44 Magnum, yeah. We love 44 Magnum. That's your classic revolver.
Yeah. Now let's move on to submachine guns. Basically, it's like the what are the primary weapons that you spawn in the
No, I
system.
feel like submachine guns in Left 4 Dead are useless. They're clearly just not outsourced. What do you call that? Overpowered by assault rifles. Like you wouldn't use a submachine gun over an AK or M16, in Left 4
Yeah,
Dead. Even a Scar would be better in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you think they should add more snipers, or do you think 3 snipers is enough?
I feel like 3 snipers are good enough, and one of them's already not viable. The op is just terrible in general. It's not a good weapon at all.
The scout is not that bad. It's the
Scout is like the same as the op. It's not that good.
Oh,
When you think of snipers that you want to use, it's either the military sniper or the hunting rifle. Because you can shoot
Oh,
it
wait, they
fast,
have
and if you hit
flanks,
headshots, it instantly kills. You know.
Yeah, but overall, okay. Let's talk about melees now. What other melee weapons should they add next? So we have the
I think
bat.
they have a bunch of variety of melees already in the game. There's a lot.
You know what they should add?
Hmm.
What is it called? Freak.
What?
Do you think they? Okay, this is really weird, but do you think they should add nunchucks?
I think that's a good concept, but how would we like implement that?
Yeah, like how would they? Do they just hire the actors to practice it? I guess.
No, it's not in terms of game design. In terms of like implementing it, I'm talking about like in terms of game design. Would it
Yeah.
just be? Would it spin around and hit really fast? Would it stun more? Because like nunchucks are a unique weapon compared to your average blunt or sharp weapon. You know.
Yeah, you know what they should? I think they should add like more knives. To be honest, since we already
Maybe.
have the CS:GO knife, which according to people sucks basically.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you know what they should add? A Bella song. They should add that,
A balisong.
which is butterfly
Sure.
knife in Filipino, I guess.
But they already have a knife in the game. So what would make it different from a balisong?
I guess basically you can spam with it or something. I don't know.
I mean, in terms of originality, I don't know how you would make it original compared to the other knife.
Yeah.
Unless it would like it makes you faster, or
Yeah.
or
Alright.
it could just be a skin, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Next up, throwables. I already discussed about the grenade, the C4. What else? What other throwables do you think they should add?
Now, right now we only have the boomer bile,
The
the
Molotov?
Molotov, and the pipe bomb.
And the pipe. Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So 3 throwables.
they should add a smoke bomb.
What's
For
that?
what reason?
What's do you have any idea? I mean, any idea what's that gonna do?
So in case there's like a, no, put it this way. Instead, they should add like a stun gun, just in case there's a bunch of a teammate
We're
stuck
talking about
with a
throwables,
lot
not
of
guns.
a lot of.
We're talking
No.
about throwables.
That is a throwable. So a stun gun, a
No.
stun grenade.
What?
I mean, a
Okay,
stun
stun grenade.
grenade. So in case a teammate is stuck, it could stun none of them and make them hypnotized for a little bit, so the teammate could get helped.
Okay, so what makes it different from a boomer bile or pipe bomb? Because that does the same exact thing.
Probably just
So this
basically.
one-
I guess it just slows them down. That's my guess. That's what he's trying to go for.
So
Yeah, but the boomer bile already slows down and distracts, and the pipe bomb just distracts and explodes.
so this one is just gonna just like stop them from moving, from getting damage to that one teammate.
I see. Let's see. But but I was thinking. Oh, here's my other thinking.
In terms of practicality, that doesn't sound that great, but I see the vision.
Yeah, but all right. Let's see what else we can think they can add. Maybe a spitter's goo. I was thinking. I had that idea before, when I was discussing like the
Okay.
ideas of Left 4 Dead 3. Now,
So what would that make? What difference would it make from a Molotov?
I guess it lasts a little bit longer because you know how when you kill a spitter, the spitter goo kind of lasts for a little bit, a long time, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be it. To be honest with you.
So you want it to build damage over time too? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically when you throw it on the ground, basically it doesn't harm you. It just harms like the zombies. That's it.
Actually, I think it should harm you,
Yeah.
but in return you get more damage. And I think the radius should be smaller than a Molotov.
Mhm.
So like if you're like running from something, you can place it, you can throw it behind you in a hallway, right?
Mhm.
And it'll stay there for the zombies chasing you.
Mhm.
So I guess it could work. It could be better for tanks too.
Mhm.
So if it directly hits a zombie, does it stay on them too, or does it just
It
leave
just.
it on the
I
ground?
think it just stays on them for like approximate a time until like the zombies die out because of it. I guess.
Now that's the thing is, I like the idea, but when it comes to like originality, the Molotov also stays on an infected permanently too. So
Yeah. But
I like the idea though. Just
Mhm.
handing some criticism.
Nah, no worries.
I have
Mhm.
I have a throwable,
What's up?
a sticky grenade that when you throw it, then it sticks onto the zombie, and it blows up. It does an instant boom.
Yeah, that could work, but
Maybe.
maybe just
Mm.
maybe because imagine another zombie bumps into them and they can't get out because they got stuck into the
What if you throw the sticky grenade and the zombie just runs to you, and then you die because of that?
Oh yeah, true
'Cause
point.
zombies, that would be more of a counter.
Yeah, and honestly, well, here's my thing. Here's the thing. If we're t- if we're planning to if they're planning to add a spinner's goo, how would it be stored? Because there's no way we're gonna get it compared to like the boomer bile here. Maybe we're gonna keep it like I don't know, like another testing tube or something. That's my guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
But
you're really,
Mhm.
really confusing, but it's not that bad.
Yeah. But speaking of the boomer's bile, what exactly is in it? Like, because we know that the zombies are attracted to it, but what exactly is in it, basically, that's making them attracted to it? Is it like the smell? Is it like the odor that it produces? Or is it because they go crazy over it? Because we know that when we throw it at a zombie, they turn against each other, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So, what exactly is in it? Like, do you guys have any speculations what's inside of it? Like,
I
Not
think
sure.
I think there's a smell that is flesh, like rotten flesh, and then that's what I feel like is attracted to them.
that could be true.
Because
Or
what else would it be?
yeah, because here's the thing. I guess the seed of workers. By the way, they're like the military company that's supposed to help people, but they decided to betray the people and kill them. My guess is basically they just open up the freaking bile jar and they just grab one of their test subjects and just to vomit in it and just shut it immediately. I guess. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but yeah. So we'll never know what exactly is inside of it until we get an answer by Valve at some point in the future or something.
By who?
Valve, the creators of the game, basically.
Hmm, I see.
Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much all the weaponry right there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now moving on, let's get to the special infected. Let's start off with the big boy, the tank, basically.
T-Tank.
Yup. I gotta be honest, when I first encountered my first tank in Left 4 Dead, I was purely terrified because guess what? Think about it. Because I was just a little kid at the time, and whenever I see that big beast, basically, I just basically be scared of my life, and I just start shooting the heck out of him, basically. Like I just start unloading on him like a Rambo, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and basically the tank is voiced by Fred Tatasciore. Basically, that's the voice actor's name. And apparently, guess what? Apparently he was originally planned to be called the Hulk, which crazy enough, the actor who plays the tank also voices Hulk. But I'm guessing they changed it because of copyright infringement because Hulk is already a hero, not a killable
It's right,
zombie.
yeah.
Yeah, he's not like a killing villain or some kind, basically. But yeah, but there's three kinds of tanks, by the way. Or actually, I think two. I don't know. But apparently, there's one with like the all red, fleshy skin that we're familiar with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also one in the sacrifice. But this one's different because if you look at his model, you can see a tattoo on basically his muscle that is like a military tattoo, basically. Now, I could assume this.
Really?
Yeah, now this is my theory on what happened. The reason why we find a tank in that train car is because originally, guess what? That train car was holding a bunch of infected. And guess what? One of the test subjects was the skinnier tank, like in human form, right? And guess what? When he was infected, guess what? He started feeling pain, and guess what? He started basically growing out bigger limbs and bigger body, basically. And he ended up killing all the people inside, and also possibly presumably eating them, obviously. And that's why we see that tank in that specific truck, basically. Well, basically, train car apart, I guess. I don't know, But yeah, that's pretty much the tank. What do you think of the tank, Water?
I think he's a very interesting infected. I think like it can be either the easiest thing you fight or the hardest thing you fight. It really depends on your team. If you have a Molotov on you and where he's positioned. If you say tank on no mercy, he'll just throw you off the roof, right? But if you say tank on like dead center, you can easily run away from him, just like kill him
Exactly.
instantly. It's very situational, yet he's still very scary. When you hear the theme, it's just wow.
Yeah, I just by the way, I decided to replace the tank theme with my own favorite music. So you obviously know what it is, Water. It's Assumptions from Sam Guillory or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the tank, Lupe? Like,
It's very interesting how are they able to come up with such a structure like that?
yeah, that's true. All right, next up we got the most kind of like the most hardest one, but yet easy to kill one, and that is none other than the witch, basically. All right, now the witch is interesting because here's the thing about her: she always cries. Just letting you, just to remind you, Lupe, she always cries. She sometimes walks. Sometimes she's sitting down, and stuff. And apparently, the singing in her on her, where you hear like an opera singing, obviously, comes from like, I think from another actress, but I think it's just to so symbolize that she's sad, I guess. And apparently, guess what? Apparently, on expert difficulty, she can one shot you basically. Like she smacks you and then bam, you're done. You don't respawn
Yep.
until like
All 3 lives. You're done.
yeah, you just basically wait until like the what is it called? You just wait until you find a teammate of yours basically finds like basically a safe room door, I guess basically. And yeah, and the thing about the witch is that guess what? She does not like lights. Basically, like she does not like lights basically flash on her face because that startles her basically. But what else about the witch basically? And also I'm playing some Left 4 Dead music on my stream, so I don't think
Yep.
but it's okay because we're talking about Left 4 Dead anyways. But the thing is,
You won't get a copyright strike?
it's a game music, so you won't. Well, if it's a copyrighted song, then I can get a
It's
strike.
not.
Yeah. So
So he won't get a strike for it being
won't.
the game music?
yeah, it's just a main menu music.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, so the witch she does not like lights, obviously. But if you stay clear, but if you're near her, she can actually get more startled. Basically, she gets up and she gets really angry. And if you're playing on expert, she one shots you. But if you're playing on a normal or easy difficulty, she basically what is it called? She basically just knocks you down and just scratches the heck out of you until you die, I guess.
Yeah.
And when she kills you, apparently she gets scared and she runs away. I don't know I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what's that all about, to be honest. I guess that could imply that that implies that she basically regretted what she's done. I guess that's my guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, and honestly, I legit thought The Witch was inspired by a horror movie, to be honest. And to specifically with that horror movie, Lights Out. It talks about a mom who actually had a friend who was allergic to light, like sunlight, which means that if a sunlight touches her, she like burns, I guess. And apparently, guess what? Her friend is Diana. And apparently, guess what? The reason why I think this is similar to The Witch is because guess what? Diana does not like lights, and what does the witch does not like? The lights too, in her face, obviously. But here's the thing: that movie came out that movie came out later after Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 came out, basically. So, I'm guessing the movie Lights Out got inspired by The Witch or something. That's my guess, or they just basically just came up with it on the spot. That's my guess. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's The Witch right there. Water, what do you think of The Witch?
I think the witch is very scary when it comes to gameplay itself and design, right? She's very startling and very off-putting, right?
Yeah.
And for first-time players, when you shoot her, you think, it's just a special infected. No, she fucking gets up and she slams you, instant kill downs you, You know, but for experienced players, it's also pretty scary because if you fail a crown to instant killer, she will down you. So it takes a lot of strategic value to heart with that.
Yeah. Lupe, you?
It's wow. For the witch, they did a very well designed um design figure. Definitely scary and definitely powerful.
Yeah.
Even with the shotgun, even though you aim it towards the head, it'll still get you.
Yeah, because think about it, her not to mention that freaking witch's nails are long, like Edward Scissorhands. Like, jeez. By the way, I just watched Edward Scissorhands a long time ago, and it was a pretty good movie. By the way, Edward was played by Johnny Depp, basically the actor who plays Captain Jack Sparrow. You guys know who you know who he is, and yeah, that's
Wow.
he's basically a Disney character. But yeah, so that's pretty much the witch. Now, next up, let's talk about the smoker, the one who grabs you with the tongue. Now, I gotta be honest. Yeah, the smoker is like one of the most disgusting ones in my opinion, basically. The reason why I say he's disgusting is the fact he's grabbing you with his long freaking tongue. And if you use mods to drag you away, and while he grabs you with his tongue, guess what? His tongue can reach all the way to kind of like all the way across like the freaking Golden Gate Bridge of San Francisco, basically. And
Yeah.
and to be honest with you, the smoker, he is kind of annoying because when he grabs you with his tongue, you don't know what to do until a teammate of yours saves you, I guess. But the worst part, he also lures in zombies so they can like kick you and hit you and stuff. So
Oh,
yeah. What?
how does that happen?
I guess because since he's a special infected, he knows how to alert zombies, I guess. But yeah,
I see.
I mean, what do you guys think of the smoker? I think he's annoying.
Smoker is he's annoying, but he's very strategical when using. You can drag people into cars, into witches, and even off ledges, which is very useful if you're playing infected. Very bad for other people though. But there are ways to counter it. So if you're fast enough, you can cut the tongue, or if you're holding a gas can and he smokes, you can drop it on the tongue, which cancels it out.
Yeah.
So basically, the smoker isn't really that good unless if you position yourself correctly with him, which is what I'm saying.
Yeah. You, Lupe?
There's definitely some terrifying. The terrifying smoker, because if you're not aware of your surroundings, it could get you.
Yeah. He
Till
also.
a teammate till a teammate saves you.
Yeah. He also makes a really horrifying noise sometimes, but we'll get to. But that's pretty much it. Next up, Boomer, and also Boonette, which is a female boomer, basically. Now this one is
There's a brunette.
Female name for it? I did not know that.
yeah, it's Boonette, basically.
Did not know that.
Yeah, but basically the boomer is basically a fat zombie, but when you shoot him, basically he explodes with a lot of blood, basically.
Yeah.
And what else? Not to mention if you shoot him far enough, but if you get too close to him, or if he's too close to you, he will just vomit on you, basically. And you probably know what that vomit is. Bile, obviously.
It is not something you want to mess with.
Yeah. And so make sure you basically kill them when they're far away, or just shove them and run away and then shoot them. That's my strategy, basically. But yes, and apparently the female one is much more disgusting in my opinion, because she's wearing underclothes, aka undies, in like a small tank top, I guess. And
What the?
yeah, I know. And apparently, guess what? She basically, and I'm gonna be honest, both of them are disgusting. And here's the thing. When you look at the model of them, guess what? It looks like they have like a disease on their like body or something. Like, ugh, it's disgusting.
Yeah. Trendy.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about the boomer. It's sneaky. It's disgusting. It's ugh. Makes me also want to vomit. Not Left 4 Dead, pun intended, by the way. But yeah,
That's not great.
yeah. I mean, Water and Lupe, what do you guys think of the Boomer? You go first, Water.
Boomer, I love the Boomer. He's very simple, he's very easy to kill, but he can be dangerous when paired up with other infected. Or he can just sneak up on you. You can just spawn in front of them, boom people, whole horde comes to you. It's a very simple, yet dangerous, or very easily counterable infected. You can one-shot it easily, but you do it at the wrong time. It's gonna boom on you, you know, it's gonna be very bad for you.
Yeah. You, Lupe?
The boomer is how Water said a percent to kill, easy percent to kill, and super destructive
Uh-huh.
on the model that was created.
Mm-hmm.
Super shocking how they were able to add this effect to the boomer.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the Boomer. Next up is another vomiting one, but this one's more dangerous, and that is none other than the Spitter. Now, the Spitter is annoying in my personal perspective. Like, this is my personal perspective. I don't know about your guys's, but we'll get to you guys in a bit.
Why is that?
The reason why I say they're annoying is because when you're like let's say your teammate's down and the Spitter's like right next to you, like on the bottom floor. Guess what? You're reviving them, and all of a sudden they just shoot out basically their stomach acids, which I believe that's what it is, by the way. And at you, and then guess what? You get down to, and especially if you're playing with 2 people only, like no other survivors, just 2 people. Yeah. And guess what? Apparently the Spitter is basically a girl. A lot of people assume it's a guy, but it's actually a girl.
Cool.
The Spitter, basically. And
It's a girl.
yeah, it's a girl, basically, with basically 2 ponytails, basically a tank top, jeans, and her panties are showing, obviously showing her rear end. And she also has a long freaking neck, not to mention. And also her mouth is deformed too, like it's like beat up or something.
Yeah.
And oh gosh, whenever I see somebody like spit out like this, I don't know what, a piece of organ that has like the stomach axis on it, and when it lands on a player, it is so nasty, to be honest. Because I remember the first time I played Left 4 Dead, and when I saw the Spitter for the first time, I am no joke, I literally almost feel like I want to vomit.
Oh my.
Yeah, like
That bad?
yeah, because geez, just looking at her, like geez, almost makes me feel like I want to vomit, like in the toilet or something, like ugh. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of the Spitter? You go first, Water.
So the Spitter, as usual, very easy to kill yet very dangerous. In tight spaces, she can really catch you off guard and damage you heavily. Her spit, you do not want to stay in it for that long, or else it will kill you. Some techs that you can do, tech tips, like you can explode the gas cans if you were to spit on them, on the gas cans, so it'll set people back during finale, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Spitters are good for blocking off passages too, or even supporting when you either charge or pounce someone or smoke. You can just give them a nice little spit, you know, do some extra damage, even down them. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Luke Bay? What do you think of the Spitter?
Oh, the Spitter's super dangerous. The dangerous one.
Yeah.
Because how Water said, if you're not careful, it'll down you right away. So that's why you gotta be aware of your surroundings when around that bird.
Yeah. But yeah. All right. Next up, the big armed idiot, none other than Charger. Now,
Charger, man.
bro, they piss me the freak off. I'm gonna be 100% real. They piss
Can't
me the
blame
heck
you.
off. They piss me the heck off, especially when I'm playing on a certain difficulty that requires me to be on a roof. But basically, the Charger is basically, well, from what I know, I think he was originally a farmer, basically, but he got in contact with the green flu, which made one of his arms like insanely huge, basically. Yeah, and guess what? Basically, guess what? After that, guess what? He just charges at you like a football player on crack, basically. Like, Like he'd just be like, basically like that. That really weird impression, but cut me some slack. But yeah, so the Charger is annoying, and he. By the way, I don't think you guys ever know this, but there's a good chance he can actually talk to you, basically.
How?
I'll actually do some voice lines, and for some reason, I can actually almost kind of nail the Charger voice a little bit. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the reason why I don't do Charger voices. Like he says,
Oh my
Absolute
god.
tweaker.
the tweaker. But
No,
yeah,
that's
but yeah, he actually says, basically, don't shoot, oh lord, and basically all that jazz, basically. But yeah, I mean, what do you guys think of the Charger? You go first, Water.
So the Charger, it's a very interesting infected. The most tanky one too. You know, playing it casually, sure, you get a charge in, you get a punch in here and there, but when thinking of it strategically, you can line yourself up very well. You can knock people off and get instant kills. You can ram into a whole team, fling them, you know. It's very strategical, and you can get some good charges in, always knock people down them, get some instant kills, fling people off. It pisses a lot of people off, like you said, you know.
Yeah.
You're on dead center, you're just chilling. Next thing you know, you're flying out of a fucking window and you're dead.
Yeah, you're just gone. You're just a goner.
So that's that.
Yeah, I said goner, by the way, viewers. I did not say gooner. But yeah, all right. Next up, the Pounding Bros. What do you want to talk about for? Which Pounding Bro you want to talk about first?
I think you choose.
All right, eating me money, money mo. Eat Coach's cheeseburger and call him a tank. One cheeseburger apocalypse or whatever. You know what? Let's do the most annoying one, the Hunter.
The Hunter.
So the Hunter is basically a hooded wuss, according to what Francis says, basically. And basically, he's basically a special infected, which I believe is blind because we don't see his eyes, basically. And apparently, if you look closely at his model in like a testing map, like for example, like Tamtara, which I used to go test my mods, just FYI.
Yeah.
What is it called? And basically, if you look at his model, you can see that he has duct tape wrapped around his like arms, his shoulders, his legs, and almost everywhere. Now, if you look really close, if you look close enough, he wraps it really tight. Like, I mean, really tight, basically.
what does he?
Huh?
What does he?
I don't. And my guess is because he thinks that it can, quotes, make him jump higher. Notice my air quotes here. Jump higher. So, because here's the thing, you can't just wrap duct tape around your body parts just to make you jump higher. That's gonna cut like circulation in your like body parts. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and not to mention, he lets out a horrifying scream when he jumps at you. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm not even joking with you. He makes like the most scariest pounce noise I ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Because here's the thing, especially when you're not expecting it. Like, imagine you're minding your own business, then all of a sudden you hear like a scream, and then all of a sudden it's the freaking Hunter jumping you, basically. Like, oh my.
Yeah, I would be scared.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I used to have nightmares about the Hunter. Like, I'm not even joking.
Really?
Like, I had a nightmare where I'm just like stranded alone, and I'm wearing like a freaking, where I was like wearing like military attire, kind of like Bill's, but except it's in my way. And all of a sudden, I keep on hearing like walking, and I thought it was somebody behind me, but it was actually, but it was somebody else. But then all of a sudden, I turn around, I freaking see a Hunter on a tree, and he freaking jumped me, basically, and I just wake up, basically. You can't tell me how horrifying that is.
That is awful.
Yeah. Okay, what do you guys think of the Hunter? You go first, Water.
So the Hunter, he's a very simple guy, but you actually can do a lot with the Hunter, as you can actually jump on walls with him after each pounce, which makes it scary and hard to navigate when fighting.
Yeah.
And you know, you usually wouldn't look up when you're playing Left 4 Dead, so you get a when he jumps on you, it is a bit scary,
Yeah.
and it is. You can be very strategic with it too. You know, you could have some infected. You could be distracted on a spitter, boomer, charger, and then next second later you have a hunter jump on you, and it's
Yeah.
at least a bigger attack. And the higher you jump, the more damage you can do, up to 25 damage, which is 1/4 of your HP. Pretty big. You know?
Yeah. You, Lupe?
It's the dangerous one.
Pretty dangerous, yeah.
It's a dangerous one. Matter of fact, I remember a couple times I've been playing. We were playing it. I got hit by the charger a bunch of times.
We're talking about the. Wait, you said the hunter?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said charger. What the heck?
No, I got hit by the. I
Hunter.
got hit by. Yeah, I got hit by the hunter.
Yeah. Now, lastly but not least, his little stupid freaking brother, the jockey,
The jockey.
or should I say, the Humpty Dumpty on the wall, humping the survivors off the wall. Let's just say it.
Insane.
Oh my.
Yes, I actually had to say that for the sake of this. Alright, but apparently the jockey behaves like the hunter, but except he doesn't jump on you and scratches the heck out of you. He just jumps on your head and just humps on you. Acting like if you're like a sex toy, basically.
Oh my.
Interesting way to put it.
Yeah, but we don't know much about the jockey. Well, besides him being really insanely annoying because of his maniacally laugh. Like, he laughs like an idiot, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Sure indeed.
Yeah, and you know, basically, and not gonna lie, his face is terrifying as heck as well. Not to mention that, like, he terrifies me whenever he lets out, like, when he looks at like our character like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it's just basically like,
What's up?
But yeah, that's pretty much the special infected. Now let's move on to the cut special infected. These are special infecteds that never made it to the game, basically. So let's start off with this unknown one, according to the wiki. According to the wiki, apparently there was a playable infected called Queen. There's nothing much about this infected, so we don't know. It's just called Queen, by the way. There's nothing,
Really?
Yeah.
The
Nothing
queen.
special about it.
There's nothing there, like, it never tells us what it does, what's attack like, but yeah. All right, but the next infected, this one's interesting. You ready for this one?
What's up?
That is none other. This is the famous one, but it's added by the community, and that is none
The
other.
meat wall?
Close enough, but we'll get to that. They got rid of the screamer, basically.
Oh, the screamer.
Now the screamer is an interesting one. I do know
Screamer or streamer?
screamer, like ah, like that.
Oh, I see.
Good impression.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, apparently the screamer, he was a placeholder for the boomer, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, if you watch the first ever Left 4 Dead trailer, like the opening sequence with the original survivors, which we'll get to the concepts in a bit, maybe after this, basically. Basically, originally, guess what? The scream that you hear in the trailer isn't the hunters. It's actually the screamers, basically.
Huh?
And apparently, guess what? The screamer is basically a special infected that looks like an asylum patient who's wearing a straitjacket, basically, which basically holds your arms in place so you don't, like, escape from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And guess what? He will run away when he sees the survivors, but if you get too close to him, he lets out an ear-piercing scream. Basically, it hurts. It basically hurts. Basically, your character's ears. Obviously.
Of course.
And yeah, that's pretty much all I know about the screamer. There's some cut voice dialogue for Nick where he actually says screamer, basically. Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the screamer? You go first, Water.
I mean, I think the screamer was just replaced by a car. I'm not gonna lie, because it does the same thing, right? If you activate it, it will summon a horde. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. You Lupe?
I don't know nothing much about it, so I have no comment.
I see. All right, next.
I just
Mhm.
I just know that how water says if you shoot the car or jump on it, then it'll sound off.
Yeah. Um. All right, next cut special infected. This one you've been. Since you said the name of it, you ready for it, Water?
Mm-hmm.
Meat wall. Now this
Meat
one,
wall.
I talked to Lupe about this, but we'll talk to the good old fans here. But basically, the meat wall basically behaves like a tank, but except it's insanely tall. It reaches like 23 feet in height, basically. It's basically like a mixture of a boomer and a tank together because how fat it is, basically. And basically, the model was originally basically showed that it was originally that it was crying, basically blood, basically. And guess what? I think originally, guess what? He was planning to be much more harder, and plus, I think he was originally planning to have more health, I guess. But I guess they decided to cut that out because because of how complicated that is, I guess. But I don't know. That could just be me. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, what do you think of the meat wall Water?
I think it's a very interesting concept, but I think it is a bit less scarier than a tank because it looks a bit slower. But it is much bigger though.
Yeah, you Lupe?
Something you wouldn't expect to see.
Yeah. Lupe, you? Hello?
I don't think he's here right now. We can move on.
Alright, we'll wait until he comes back.
Okay.
Alright, next cut special infected. Next one is the Rat Man. I don't know if this one's cut. Oh wait, yeah, actually it is cut. But this one basically behaves like the spitter. But the only difference is that when you kill it, a bunch of rats come out of his body, basically.
Bunch of
Yeah.
what?
Oh, there you are, Lupe. Okay, what do you think of the special infected meat wall?
Wow, it's a smaller version. It's terrifying, and
It's not smaller. It's bigger than a tank.
I saw the picture and it's smaller,
No.
It's probably because of that's a mod, basically.
probably. But it's terrifying.
Yeah. You still doing good? Sorry about that, guys. All right. Next, but the Rat Man basically, if you basically it was like I said, a placeholder for the spitter, but except the only difference is that the rat when you kill the rat. By the way, the Rat Man looks like a farmer, but when you kill the Rat Man, he basically unleashes all of his rats, basically. And I remember when I had that mod, I was so grossed out. I'm not even joking.
You had it?
I used to, but I uninstalled it because I was testing out different other mods. That's why. But yeah, so that's the Rat Man. Basically, he's basically the Rat Man is basically a male version of a spitter. Just to recap. But yeah. But what do you guys think of the Rat Man?
Not really much to say, but I think the concept's pretty unique. Something that you would have to kill far away so the rats wouldn't get to you.
Yeah, true. What about you, Lupe?
Totally grossed out because of you clean the special infected and then there being rats. Totally terrified by
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So, and the next one, what is it called? What is it called? The next cut special infected, the Leaker. Now this one's interesting because the Leaker is basically a boomer, but except this one's but it's unique. You know why?
Why?
Because apparently, guess what? It emits like this kind of glow, basically on him, right? And you can't just shoot him like a regular boomer. Like when you shoot him, guess what? He doesn't like basically explode. But
Why is that?
and apparently, but here's a weird thing: when you shove him, he explodes with fire, basically.
Oh.
And guess what? Apparently, it makes your character's ear ring, basically like making that like high pitched noise when you hear like an explosion. Basically, that's how it works. And Yeah, that's pretty much the leaker. He's based, and here's the way you see it glowing. If you see like glowing spots on its body. Now this could imply that the boomer probably drank a whole gallon of dang gasoline. That's my guess. And so that's what, and so he can basically survive much longer. But apparently he cannot because apparently when you shove him, guess what? He explodes easily.
I'll be back, guys. I got a deafen.
All right. But yeah, what do you think of the leaker, Water?
The leaker, I think, is just a better boomer.
A better
overall.
one, yeah, I get that. But yeah, since we couldn't get Lupe's like opinion, I guess he will say that it is interesting. I guess you know what I'm saying. All right, next one. Originally, Left 4 Dead was originally planning to add special infected animals. It's like such as dogs, pigs, and so much more, basically. But honestly, guess what? I think adding those guys would be really hard, because the reason why I say they would be hard, because imagine imagine a dog can actually lunge at you and just start like trying to eat you away, basically, and you have to wait until a teammate revives you or something. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what do you think? What do you think of the concept of like zombified animals?
I think it's like a, how do I say it? It's like a small distraction to say, like, it could be fitting in with a horde, you know. It can go with zombies, and then you can have it's like, you know, those mud walkers in the what do you call that? The swamp fever, you know, the ones that just crawl to you? It reminds me of that.
Oh, the crawler?
Crawlers, yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically that. See, you don't see them until you look down and see what's hitting you. It's a really good way to chip someone.
Yeah. What else? I think that's pretty much all the special infected that were cut, I think. Oh, wait. Do we count these guys as special infected? CETA worker zombies.
No.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing. Actually, I mean, aren't they immune to Molotovs? So
yeah,
like maybe.
Yeah, I guess.
There's nothing else to that.
Yeah,
the only thing we can say about them is they're immune to fire.
Yeah, and here's a weird thing: is that if you kill them, you'll hear a puff of air coming out.
Basically. Oh, because they're wearing that little suit.
Yeah. Now here's a weird thing: is that how can basically the CETA workers get infected while they're wearing the suits airtight? Now, maybe the air compressor they're wearing is is probably contaminated. Do you think?
Actually, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, so that's pretty much like the special zombies. Well, we already discussed about the Jimmy Gibbs Jr. zombie earlier, didn't we? Yeah, so that's pretty much the special infected. Now let's talk about the concepts, basically. Like, let's talk about like the concept art for like the maps, the characters, and so on, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's start with the characters. So originally, Left 4 Dead basically originally planned to make the survivors look prepared, basically. Like, they were planning to make them like look like they're ready for the apocalypse and stuff. But Valve decides to change it, basically, because according to Valve, they say something like they don't want to look too prepared because they want to they look way too prepared for the apocalypse, obviously.
Yes.
So they had to change it, so they had to make them look like they're unprepared, obviously. So basically they decided to keep on changing it until they finalized the ones they like, basically. Like, for example, like, let's go for Left 4 Dead 1 survivors. I don't think Left 4 Dead 2 survivors are not that special. Like, they only changed like their clothing brand, but the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors are like the ones that are changed the most, basically. Now let's start off with like the most changed character is Zoe. So originally Zoe was planning to wear like a pink hoodie, pink striped socks, and like tactical gear and all that jazz, basically. And basically she looks like she hasn't. And if you look at her face model, she looks like she hasn't slept in days. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, Water. She looks like she hasn't slept in days, basically.
Yeah.
Interesting fact, she's also the only character that changes voice actresses, because in the original, 'cause-
Actually, it's not. They mixed both of her voice lines with the new and old one, but it's really hard to tell.
yeah, and besides, it sounds exactly kind of the same anyways. So
Yeah, no, it's really hard to tell the difference. But I didn't even know that until they pointed it out. I'm like, really?
yeah, because originally, guess what? She was because in the final game, she's voiced by Jen Taylor, obviously.
Yeah.
But in the original concept, she was originally voiced by Alicia Glidewell, basically. But they decided to change it because I think they want to make Zoe sound like a teenager, basically. And early concept art continues on her. Basically, she was originally planning to wear like a headband, of course, and she had to go through different hairstyles, basically. But until they landed on the one that fits her personality pretty well and makes her like beautiful and stuff, basically.
Yeah.
What else? And what next character? And next up, we got to talk about obviously our personal favorite, Bill. Obviously, guess what? He in his original concept art, according to what you said, Water, he was originally planning to look much older, basically. Like he was like a full-on headed beard and like full-on hair and stuff. And he was originally and obviously he has like tactical vests and with like dog tags and stuff, and like American patches and whatnot, basically. But now they decided to change him up to make him a little bit younger, basically. Oh yeah, basically. Also, not to mention the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors are also face models are still alive, I believe. For example, Zoe's face model is Sonia Kinski. I don't know much about her, but all I know is that she basically is the inspiration for Zoe, basically.
Yeah.
And basically, Bill was originally planning to look much more prepared as always. But early concept art, he was originally planning to wear like a striped T-shirt, basically underneath his army jacket. But now they finalized on like just a regular fit, basically army jacket, kind of like a creamish yellow shirt, cargo pants, holster, boots, and all that, and obviously beret since he's a soldier himself, basically. And what else about him? His face model is Bernard Fouquet. He's basically a French model, basically, and he basically does I don't know if you ever heard of this design. He does what it's called sock designing, basically. Like he designs socks, basically, which is something I don't expect him to do. But yeah, and
I'm not pretty surprised by that.
yeah. And of course, his accent is very French. I gotta tell you that, basically. But yeah. Next up, I'll save the least changed one for last. Oh yeah, and originally, guess what? Bill was basically was almost kind of behaves like Nick because originally he was planning to be soding, scared of everybody who because he might think he might catch the flu and stuff, like the germs and stuff. And basically he's kind of a germaphobe, basically, originally. But yeah, and so, but they decided to change that until they finalized on the build they like, basically. And next up, we got Lewis. Now, his original concept, he was originally planning to have like a full head of hair, a full beard, and like a bandage on his head, and like full like gear and stuff. And according to this one YouTuber you and I were watching one time, he's supposed to. He almost kind of looks like someone from like Borderlands or something like that, basically. And originally, guess what? Not to mention about Lewis, like the original one. For some odd reason, he was originally planning to be an a-hole, basically, kind of like Nick, obviously. Because I think at one point he was in the original. Guess what? He was originally planning to like insult Bill, basically, like by calling him insanely old or something like that. But yeah, and also there's also other concept art, like for example, like originally Lewis was originally planning to be a religious zealot, right? He was originally planning to wear like what a priest would wear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was originally planning to be like that, but I'm guessing they had to scrap that because they think it's a little offensive, I guess, towards other religions, I guess. But yeah. And lastly but not least, this one's probably gonna make you laugh. Francis. His original concept is he looks the same, but except he's more fatter, basically.
Just a fat biker.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. Lewis's face model is Sean Bennett, just to tell you. But
Oh, really?
and basically, guess what? Originally, freaking Francis was originally planned to basically be. He was fatter, and he had like longer hair. He had a full set of beard, of course. And originally, his jeans was originally and his original gene concept. He had like basically blue jeans instead of black, basically. And that's pretty much all I know about original Francis. Well, but here's a weird thing though. Is that originally, guess what? Originally, the original Zoe and original Francis, they were planning to be romantically together, basically.
Huh.
Like they were planning to be, obviously, boyfriend and girlfriend, obviously. Like they were planning to be like have a romance together, basically. But I guess they could change that because of I think how weird it is, and plus we don't know how old original Zoe is. Probably not the same age though, because she looks older. But yeah, so Francis, and after a few concepts, like originally, well, Francis was originally planning to have like a full set of hair, of course, but they decided to make him a little bald, I guess, and what is it called? And not to mention, his face model is Taylor Knox, which, if you don't know who he is, he's a professional surfboarder, boarder, basically. And if you ask me, that's pretty cool. That's a quite cool thing to hear from you, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's still, and it's crazy that he does bring the character Francis to life. To be honest with you. Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, I just searched him up, and geez, I gotta tell you, he definitely looks like a professional surfboarder. But besides that, he also looks like a gym teacher. Like a PE teacher almost. But yeah, so that's pretty much the concept art of the characters. Now let's talk about the maps. So the maps change through the times, and I gotta admit, it's something pretty interesting, to tell you that. Like originally there was planned to be a map called Damn It, basically, where it takes place in a dam.
Damn it.
Where it takes place in a dam, basically. It was supposed to split between I think what is it called? Blood Harvest and Dead Air. It was supposed to be a composite between those, basically. But I guess they decided to scrap it because on how hard it is, especially if you play on expert. If you play the custom campaign, which they added in the Left 4 Dead community, if you literally play it on expert mode, you're definitely gonna go through a lot of crap. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much the map. And there's also, and originally No Mercy was planning to be called, I think No Mercy was originally planning to be called Urban Underground, which is a really strange name for the campaign. I'm gonna keep it real with you. So, and basically there's all sorts of cut campaigns in Left 4 Dead, basically. You know what I'm saying? But originally, Left 4 Dead was not originally planned to look like a zombie apocalypse game. Originally, guess what? The game was supposed to be like a Counter-Strike Sources what is it? Playable DLC, where you basically kill a bunch of enemy players that wield knives, basically. But I guess Moby Frankie, yes, the same Moby Frankie who helped develop Team Fortress 2 and Half-Life and Portal. Guess what? Apparently guess what? They decided to change up the concept, basically. And so that's where it leads to Left 4 Dead 1 and 2 today, to be honest with you. And I want to be honest with you, Left 4 Dead 2 is much better than Left 4 Dead 1. Now, even though Left 4 Dead 1's campaigns are in Left 4 Dead 2, but I don't think there's even a point of buying two of the games. You know what I'm saying? Just buy Left 4 Dead 2 and you're set. I mean, I mean, what do you think? Do you think I'd bring a true point, or do you want to correct me on that?
I know. I think you make a lot of good points, and I can't argue with that. A lot of points you pointed out make a lot of sense. So
Yeah. But overall, Left 4 Dead is a pretty fun game. It has a lot of history buff. Yeah, it has a lot of good backstory. I gotta tell you that. Because as you may know, because as you may know, as this because when the survivors are trying their best to survive, they're just doing their best to stay alive, obviously, because that's the point of Left 4 Dead. You gotta survive. You gotta basically do everything basically. But yeah, now let's talk about one of the I kind of consider this a sensitive topic, but yet kind of a serious topic, and that is Left 4 Dead 3's future. Basically, what is planning to happen in it, what would we want in it, and so
I'm
on.
pretty sure there's no future for it, and the reason why is because they came out with another game called Back for Blood, which is a steaming pile of dog shit, to put it the least.
Yeah, apparently, according to some people, it's a really horrible knockoff of Left 4 Dead, basically. Oh yeah, speaking of Left 4 Dead copies, a lot of people on the community, on the Valve community, decided to make different copies of Left 4 Dead. Like for example, I actually found one, and I have it in my Steam library right now. It's actually codenamed Kier, which is literally a copycat of Left 4 Dead. Basically, you don't play as the survivors, except you play as a certain class. Like for example, fire specialist, ammo supplier, medic, pyro, and all that jazz. Basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't believe having special characters will work in a game like Left 4 Dead, as it should be more of a tactical team-based shooter than a game where you have to pick specific loadouts or certain buffs just to fit your playstyle, and then you abuse that. Because when I played Back 4 Blood, there was always just meta, right? You could have one character that instantly revive someone's, heal them infinitely, and another just do a bunch of damage with the cards and attachments they had, and it just wasn't fun because of that. There was no tactical or competitive shooter. It was just, hey, let me just level up my card so it can instantly revive you. There's no risk in playing now. So it's just it's not fun.
Yeah, but I mean, if Left 4 Dead does have a future, here's my speculations. I could have, because I think, because at some point we're gonna have only one DLC, and that DLC being the Midnight Riders DLC, basically. And basically, what I expect from this is we basically play as the Midnight Riders, basically. And that would be interesting. We get to know what exactly happened to them. Did they escape, or did they just basically die basically at some point? I mean, we did see their truck in the passing. Think about it. So that could possibly imply that they're still alive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, and we also get to hear what they also sound like. Besides the music, we hear their voices in, but you get the idea. But yeah,
I do get the idea.
Yeah, but yeah, and what else? What else about the Midnight Riders? We also get to do you think it should just be one campaign for them, or multiple campaigns for them so we can understand?
I think multiple campaigns. That's how you get to discover and personally learn about people, the characters themselves, and how the story is. If you leave it at one campaign, it's just gonna be boring.
Yeah, but also in Left 4 Dead 3, I honestly think the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors and the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors should meet up, basically, at some point. Well, besides Bill, because since he passed away, may he rest in peace, obviously. But yeah. So, but do you think Left 4 Dead 3 should have a secret 8th player, or do you think that 8th player can be like a custom one?
That's a good one, Will. I don't think I have an answer to that.
I honestly think we should have an 8th player, and that 8th player can
Player.
Yeah, because here's the thing: the only survivors we know is obviously the Left 4 Dead 1 survivors. Zoe, Francis, and Lewis. I don't want to mention Bill since he passed away. So, and Left 4 Dead 2 survivors: Nick, Ellis, Coach, and Rochelle. But what would the 8th player be?
Gotta let the staff team think of one.
For some reason, I was thinking Virgil. But here's the thing: he's a captain. So
Didn't he turn into a zombie? Oh no. Actually, is he alive? I forgot.
it is assumed that he's alive, but we don't know what happened to him. The last time we see him is after the parish.
Hmm.
Now we can either assume he died or got infected. I don't know. But yeah, and maybe I think and here's one feature I really think the Valve should actually implement if they're planning to make Left 4 Dead 3 is that you get to choose your own survivors. Like you get to like for example, like you know how like there's like when you're playing a solo, you can actually solo, right, and you can only choose your own character. But what if the AI bots, you can actually change the characters for them? Like, for example, you can change the AI bots to Zoe or Francis or Lewis. Think about it. That would be kind of cool. And stuff, you know what I'm saying? And what else in Left 4 Dead 3 should happen? What else? Do you think they should keep the same weapons or do you think they should change it?
They should definitely not change it, but add more.
Add
Like
more,
I said,
okay.
we thought of the double barrel.
The
We thought of
revolver.
like a revolver.
Rocket launcher.
Maybe some more throwable rocket launchers would be nice.
Yeah.
Obviously not refillable like a grenade launcher, but more direct damage.
Yeah. Do you think the rocket launcher, if they added it, do you think it should just be only one shot or
It should be one shot at a time, but you have like maybe 10, 15 rockets if we're running
I
out.
feel like 5 is a realistic number for rockets.
5 is realistic, but in terms of gameplay, no one's gonna use it if it's 5. Think of 10 to 15.
Alright, 10 to 15 it is then.
Because if you think about the grenade launcher, we carry like 15 rounds for it too.
Yeah. Do you think Left 4 Dead 3 should add cutscenes or no?
What'd you say?
Do you think they should Left 4 Dead 3 should add cutscenes at certain points of the game?
No. Because I feel like the gameplay should always be consistent and stay like intuitive, where the player will always need to be on their feet, you know. If you give them a cutscene, you're giving them a break, you know. Unless if it's like the final boss or like final, like you could have it at the end where when you beat the campaign, you have a cutscene, but like midway, nah, you know.
But
Because you know everyone plays at a different pace too. If you're a fast player, you know you're not gonna like the cutscene.
yeah, true. So and also for the opening, we can't forget about the opening. You know, like when you open the game, you always see this opening cinematic of the characters being a total badass.
Yeah.
So here's my concept. Maybe the opening cutscene should open up to the Left 4 Dead 2 survivors, basically just chilling out somewhere safe until all of a sudden they hear a familiar voice they heard before, right? And they realize it's the survivors that they know, basically. And basically, guess what? And basically, Ellis gets so happy that he gets to see Zoe again. But guess what? He nervously thinks in his head, saying, "Oh man, should I say it? Should I say it?" And then all of a sudden, guess what? He just goes for it. And what I mean by goes for it, he just straight up gives her a kiss, basically. And same with Rochelle too, basically. But here's the thing. I know for the fact that Rochelle and Francis will get along, and Zoe and Ellis will get along, but how would the other characters get along? That's my question. Like, do you think Lewis would get along with, like, maybe Coach, maybe, or Nick, or both?
I think they would.
Yeah. And maybe, like, Lewis might actually teach Nick how to do a business, I guess, because it makes sense. They're both wearing business formal wear, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and honestly, and Coach, he can basically just, you know, teach, like, how to exercise or something. I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's how the cinematic opening works. But then all of a sudden their peaceful ends because apparently they hear a zombie growl, and so they have to grab their weapons and just basically start shooting them again, basically. Now let's talk about the ending for Left 4 Dead 3. Like, what do you think should happen? Like, what should happen at the ending?
I don't think there should be a dedicated ending to them winning. It's more of like a make your own conclusion type of ending, as if like how you know how you like
Mm-hmm.
you got rescued from the parish bridge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you know how there's a common theme of how the pilot's always infected and they die, right? So
Yeah.
you could come up with two conclusions: they either get saved, rescued, or they also crash again and they have to fight through zombies again.
Yeah. But but if the last campaign for the Left 4 Dead 3, guess what? You know what I was thinking? I was thinking that one of the characters might die, but I don't know who. Because
Well, you already have Bill dead, so I don't know.
yeah,
You could have another thing where like one of them gets infected and you don't know what happens after.
yeah, or you know what I was thinking? We can either I could have since now that I think about it, I feel like Nick would be the one who would be sacrificing his life.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I say Nick would be sacrificial, if sorry if that word does not that does not sound official word from the dictionary. I'm sorry, but the reason why I say this is because guess what? The reason so let's say this. Imagine at the very end of the battle, right? Basically, guess what? They're fighting back a bunch of zombies, but until a freaking giant boss zombie shows up. Now we can either think of a tank, or we can either think of meat wall. It's either one, basically. So and guess what? Nick basically pulls back, and guess what? He basically in the back of his head or back of his mind, he's like thinking to himself how much pain he's caused his friends. Like he feels like he's an a-hole of the group, right? And so basically he tells them to move out of the way, right? And basically he grabs a Molotov or he throws whatever explosives he has in hand, and basically guess what? He decides to basically be a total badass and decides to basically, starts trying to kill this monster, right? Now even though but guess what? The crew backs him up. Guess what? The monster's right behind him, right? And he just I'm just gonna call it a monster because I feel like at this point we don't know what special effect he might be facing. But imagine, guess what? The monster just hits him, right? And then guess what? Nick basically ends up in one of the rooms, just basically bleeding to death, right? And guess what? After the monster gets defeated, guess what? The Left 4 Dead. Guess what? Ellis goes down there, right? Just to see his best friend, obviously. And guess what? The last thing Nick will say to Ellis is he says, "I'm sorry for everything," and basically, because you know how he's kind of an a-hole towards Ellis all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, guess what? All of a sudden, Nick dies, and we see his. You know how when a character like holds another character's hand, and when a person dies, it just lets go, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine that. Like, let's imagine that, and then guess what? All of a sudden, we hear Ellis basically break down in tears because he lost his best friend, basically. And guess what? And Zoe tries to comfort him, basically. I mean, that's what friends are supposed to do. That friends are supposed to comfort each other, basically. And obviously, I could imagine basically, Francis basically. I could imagine the entire crew is just cheering, doing their best to comfort Ellis, to let him know that his friend is gone, basically, like he's no more, basically. And the reason why I feel like Nick is more basically more vulnerable to sacrifice his life, it's just because he wants to he wants to try to let go of the past somehow, like his criminal past, basically. So I guess that's one way to basically say goodbye to him, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I guess that's how Left 4 Dead 3 would end, to be honest with you. Like, they just both bury Bill and Nick, basically. And yeah, Left 4 Dead. But honestly, Left 4 Dead 3 I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon. Like,
It's not gonna happen at all.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. Like, it's not like our grandkids are gonna wait until like 2040 or 50 until Left 4 Dead 3 comes out and stuff. And besides, like, Half-Life 3 was supposed to be confirmed, but due to a lot of leakage, they had to cancel it, I guess, basically. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. I used to be a big Half-Life fan. Sorry for changing game topic here, but I used to be a Half-Life fan myself. But just playing through that ending kind of breaks me. Just kind of wishes that they continue on the game, but I guess I'm guessing that it's not gonna happen. You know, I mean, even though we have Half-Life Alex, but it's Alex's POV, not Gordon's POV. Well, at the very end, spoiler alert, at the very end of Half-Life Alex, you do play as Gordon, so. Which implies that that Half-Life 3 might happen, but we don't know. It's a mystery. Yeah. Welcome back, Lupe.
Thank you.
Yep, but yeah, so Left 4 Dead 3 will probably not happen, to be honest with you. And plus we don't know what's the concept gonna be like if it does happen. But yet again, it's like I said, it's probably not gonna happen. If it does happen, then what the heck are we speaking here? But yeah, but what's your guys' conclusions on Left 4 Dead, like Left 4 Dead 2, like the game wise and the gameplay and
It is a great game. Anyone can play it at any time without worrying about microtransactions, constant crashing, or like how your performance is. It's a very simple game that you can play with your friends.
Yeah.
You know, and there's plenty of content from the workshop too. If you get bored of campaign, you can also play versus for a competitive space. You can learn a lot of things too.
Yeah. You, Lupe, what do you think of the game?
I like it. It's fun.
It is. Yeah. The only downside I would give about Left 4 Dead is the friendly fire, to be honest. Because apparently, guess what? If you shoot a teammate, it gives them, it damages them basically.
Friendly fire is
what friendly fire is.
Yeah.
Personally, I think friendly fire is good because it teaches you not to shoot your teammates, to play more strategically. You can't just shoot in a direction, you know.
Yeah, you gotta like. It's basically teaching. The game's kind of teaching you like skill, basically, like skill level, basically.
Although, if you do have some friends that hate you and just want to kill you, they can do that, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, or pretty much like if you're like an a-hole if your friends are an a-hole towards you, you can just literally open fire on them basically. But yeah, but overall, Left 4 Dead is an amazing game. I'm glad that I grew up with the game and also with TF2, which I think the next podcast episode, which I don't know is gonna happen. Probably after like less busy, we're gonna be talking about probably Team Fortress 2. Basically, it's probably gonna happen like I don't know, like Sunday or like next Sunday. By the way, just FYI, next Sunday or whenever day you're around water, because I know the fact you and I like TF2. So yeah, and Lupe, if you like, you can participate too if you like. So
yeah.
So
Yeah, I was hoping, having my finger crossed and be like, hopefully they're not done yet.
Yeah, and maybe other podcast ideas I have. This is not Left 4 Dead related. I'm sorry, viewers, if you're hearing me yap about this. So we got Team Fortress 2. We can even talk about Half-Life if any of you guys know much about it. Do you much?
What's that?
It's basically a game that basically talks about a story about something. I mean, wait, Water, do you know much about Half-Life?
No, I don't.
I know another one we could broadcast too.
What's up?
What's that name? What's the name?
Describe it.
I can't even describe it.
So we got Team Fortress 2. We can even talk about Tower Defense, Tower of Defense X Beta.
That's that too. That's a good one.
Maybe we can talk about Payday, of course. We could talk about who were they originally, like why did the game start and all that jazz. Payday.
The other one.
We can even talk about horror games, of course, and so much more. But I gotta do a community tap poll on my channel, so I'll probably do that later on the day.
Oh yeah. That one game that your dweller.
Fallout, that?
Yeah, there you go. Thank you for that.
We could. We could also talk about the show too. That's coming out in December and stuff.
I don't know if you guys did one. Did you guys do a podcast about that?
We didn't.
Did Did you guys do a podcast about Payday?
No. We already did a podcast
Okay.
on video games, TV shows, Payday. The one we're doing right now, Left 4 Dead, and all that.
Indeed. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this type of conversation.
Yeah, I do too, because me and Water get to basically show us our sense of humor, that we basically are relatable, basically. And also we are also mind readers, because we always read each other's minds. It's like Water has,
Relatable.
yeah, because
More like brothers.
I mean it makes sense, because Water's Vietnamese, I'm Vietnamese too.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is I'm a different nationality.
Yeah, you're basically Mexican, basically. I hope you got.
Yes.
I hope I got that right.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just making sure, because I don't want people to spam in the comments saying that I'm racist or something.
I would be like, leave my friend alone. He's not racist. I don't call that racist. I call that facts. How Water says. Right, Water?
Yep.
Yippee! But yeah, so I think that's enough for the podcast, guys. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of talking. And how long have we been live for? We've been live for, oh my gosh, 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Oh my.
I think this
What time did you guys start?
we started at 2. Well, 2 something,
Oh.
because Water was doing something, and I had to let him do something, basically. And I had to respect my brother's privacy here. Because imagine I actually DM'd him while he's in the shower. Let's do that as an example, and he'd be like, "Bro, I'm in the shower."
Oh my.
Like, there's no way he's gonna do a podcast while freaking bare ass naked or something.
That's insane.
That's wild.
Wild in the jungles.
Just in the jungles doing your thing.
Yeah.
And then get interrupted. Hey! I'm trying to take a shower over here.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the podcast, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed. Next podcast episode, we're probably gonna be talking about, I guess, we can even, oh yeah, we'll talk about Team Fortress 2, basically.
It's gonna be nice.
But yeah, so if you all want, want to suggest a podcast suggestion, feel free to like leave them in the comments or leave them in my community tab, or just vote on my community tab what podcast you guys want to do, and me and Water will get back to it. And anything you guys want to say? Like, Water, anything you want to say?
I think that was a great one. It's
Yep.
a great podcast.
For real. All right, you, Lupe.
I think this is what I think. This was a great podcast. Thank you for everyone that commented on the chat. Just like the recent people that just chatted, had a good time, enjoyed the conversation, the podcast, and not just that, guys. Make sure to drop who's gonna be the next 401 subscriber. Make sure to drop your follow. Stay tuned.
But yeah, thank you, everybody. Stay tuned for more podcasts. Anyways, TGW out, and Water's out, and Titanium.